Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up?
The opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and Future Bachelor only.
And not affiliated with any outside party or entity. This fun podcast may include some adult language.
Butts.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
I don't know what this is.
This is the end when they do the little twirl.
I'm like, what?
Welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Ariel.
Whoa!
What is happening?
Girls! Wow, guys.
Run the world. Girl.
All right. And one boy. But guys, listen, we are here on Future Bachelor today, and this is a big event, crossover event. We got the girls, Caitlin, Ariel from Back to Pod. I got to give a little air horn for that.
Oh, when you keep saying girls like that, I think of the song like, where them girls, where them girls.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
You definitely
Where them
do.
girls,
You
where
were-
them
you-
girls at?
You were a
See, you do know
DJ.
it.
Yeah,
you were
I
a
know.
DJ. You definitely know the song.
Whatever. Anyways, we got the girls from the Back to Pod on here. We were on their episode of their season finale of they do a podcast about Beverly Hills 90210, the original the original show. And there's been like a couple versions of the show since then, but they're going back to the beginning, and they started season 1 and had us on their season finale of it, which was really fun because we had to go there and watch an episode, the last episode out of context.
No
Context. Veronica did not like having no context.
Yeah.
I had a
I
read.
liked Veronica having no contact.
That's what makes it fun. And we thought it would be fun to do the same thing for our show today by having you guys watch Bachelor in Paradise, which is kind of messed up because it's like 2 days event.
It's 4 hours.
4 hours of watching TV with
It's
commercials.
the same thing where we had no contact.
Right,
Yeah, it was
exactly.
so- yeah.
But it's still kind of fun, like watching a
was
show,
great.
right?
It was good.
Do you guys you feel like you got a good handle on the show?
little
I know
bit,
like
yeah.
3 of the characters.
All right, cool.
And
We'll
I
get
can
in.
fill in the other however many there are.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
other 12.
So you're like the Veronica of the podcast. Huh?
Yeah, I think
All right.
my steel trap started like steel trapping because she was like, "Who's the person?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, the
Cool.
JPJ."
Look, and we
Like,
both have the hats on and stuff too. What the hell? Yeah, I just noticed it. What's happening? But yeah, so we'll get into some Bachelor in Paradise stuff later on, which will be really fun. I'm really happy to have you guys here. That episode we were just talking about it.
hilarious.
We're
It was
just
so funny.
It's cool that that was the first time I've done another podcast with Veronica that somebody else produces, so that's really cool. We have to give a special shout out to your guys' producer, Mary, that couldn't
Mary.
make it today. I really wish she could, but
Same.
yeah.
Mary, we miss you.
She gotta give
love
an air
you.
horn to Mary. But yeah, so we go through a couple different segments on the show. So you guys are along for the ride. So just comment whenever you want. We usually start the show with like what happened in our past week. I'm gonna start what I did with my past week.
The resident fan wants to start.
I'm just saying.
Typical.
I'm just gonna start because mine has a paragraph, and I usually never have a paragraph. So I'm gonna brag about my weekend.
Is that a paragraph?
Well, it's a run-on sentence. Looks like a paragraph and word, but I got to hang out with Chef John Mark this weekend, like all weekend. He just got a new house, and it was really fun going over there. You guys, you know John.
I do know John.
Yeah,
He works at the company.
He works at
Yes.
the company.
The company.
Yeah. It was really fun. He has a really nice house, and he's like really good at cooking. So
He's very good.
it's amazing.
He's very
For
good
my
at cooking.
birthday, like 2 years ago, he made me some amazing pork ribs.
Really?
I requested them. I was like, "Can you make me pork ribs?" He's like, "Yeah." I can
Easily.
make you pork ribs."
He's like,
He's
"I
like,
can
yeah,
make
let me
anything."
Yeah,
open
let me
up my
fire up
bakery
the
and egg.
It's
Yeah.
like, make me hard.
Dude.
Child's
me.
Child's play.
They were so good.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, I heard it
you
when
said
I saw
hard, and I said boring.
Whoa,
yeah.
right there. We all heard it, but we were
You knew it was
ignoring
coming.
in this situation.
They were
Some of us
nice.
are mature.
Queen of sexual innuendos from the crossover episode
Right.
on their pod. Okay.
Yeah, I know. How many grades? Well, you guys have to listen to that episode. It's hilarious. But yeah, we're over there. He like cooked. He has the egg
Yeah.
grill, and he cooked like all these wings and steak, and it was just like amazing. That was only Friday, so I was chilling with him and Caleb, and then on Saturday I ended up going to the German beer fest that's here. And I'm not a big.
Where even was that?
That was in Woodruff Park over here.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I usually typically don't go to like festivals, so it was just funny like to go out to one and then actually see like like everyone like into it, and the games they had there and stuff. Like it was awesome. They had like this.
Yeah, you had this thing I saw on your Instagram story where you like had to like it was this contraption where you were trying to like hold a beer and try to like drink it. It was like suspended over your head.
Yeah, they call it like marionette or something like that.
Oh,
like beer marionette because it's like you have to like
Oh.
kind of like angle, like it's like this like thing that you have to like kind of like get the beer to go in your mouth, and I ended up like dumping it all over my face.
Yeah,
and
that
saw
makes
that.
sense.
covered
That
in
makes
beer.
sense.
But and then they have like this hammer game where like you like have a stump and you have to like use like this hammer to like everybody goes around in a circle, then knock a nail into the stump, and whoever gets it like all the way into the stump first wins. It's like
yeah.
really fun, and it was like
Yeah, that's a game.
$30, and you get to drink all this German beer, like to try out all these different samples. They got like pretzels everywhere and stuff. It was
Yeah,
really
wasn't
fun.
John at one point wearing a pretzel?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Like a giant
Loser!
pretzel.
No, I'm just
like
joking.
a giant pretzel, because like you'll see girls like when I was.
It was
in
hot too. You're like
college-
sweating. It's raining, and it's still
It was
delicious.
hot Saturday. I know.
Yeah, but what were you saying?
I was just saying, like, you usually see, like, the girls or whatever with, like, just the little, like, hard pretzels, like the Snyder's pretzels,
Right.
like, on, like, a ribbon or whatever when it's their 21st birthday.
You were like, you only see them with the little.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Another fun, like, Easter egg for our YouTube watchers. I feel like every time, like, I do something kind of weird, I'm like, whoops.
Wish this wasn't
But,
filmed.
like, it was just kind of funny because it was huge. It was a
Yeah.
giant pretzel.
Yeah. It was pretty fun. And then we had another crazy night at his place. Like I literally like spent the whole weekend there, and I like tipped him at the end of it. I feel well, not like tipped him. I gave him money because like first of all he like feeds you and he gives you like all this dope ass food, and then like it was like a really nice like comfortable bed in the guest room that I stayed in. I just felt like I was like, dude, just here, like throw some money at
I
you.
just feel like you don't call it tipping.
I felt no, because I was like
Friends for
joking, like it was an
hanging out with
Airbnb or something. I was like, yo, dude, I'll be back again. I promise. 5 stars.
Stars.
I'll good Yelp review. So that's pretty much all I did, and then I started getting into that 13 Reasons Why season 3.
Yikes.
Can't do it.
I can't believe I'm the only one that watched.
No, I've said many a times on this podcast why I have problems with this show. It is problematic, and I don't like to support it.
It gave me nightmares in the first season, so I
Yeah,
stopped
word.
watching it.
Yeah,
Word.
it changes a little bit. Like, it's very interesting, like how they develop the characters and how they try to be like, you know, they try to do things like the politically correct way. Like I know it's like it's really dark and some messed up stuff, but like there is an overtone to it, like of what they're trying to, especially now in the later seasons. Like, you know, they're trying to be better because of all the backlash they've had and stuff.
I was gonna
you
say
know?
in the first season, didn't they just have to re-edit the first season?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
they
showed
did.
the suicide. They showed how they, which also isn't accurate to how it was done in the book. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, I never read the book, so I didn't have that
no.
context.
I read the book.
So and
As me.
I
You
read a lot.
what I do like about
Yeah, I
the
read the
show
book when I
though,
was,
it's
like,
like it's really
15.
weird because like when you watch shows and did you really like them, I feel like you binge them and they it goes by really fast. For some reason, 13 Reasons Why is like 13 episodes and they feel like they go on forever.
they're heavy.
They're
They're
very heavy.
And
They're
sit
heavy.
with
Those
you.
are like
Well,
ones I
those-
can't like.
I
There's
was gonna
heavy
say, I
shows I
can't do
can't
that.
binge those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't
definitely
binge
not.
heavy
But
shows.
the one thing I don't like about it is like they're all supposed to be friends, but like they literally lie so much and all the lies come out by the end
I
of it.
just
and
want
stuff.
some happy teens.
Right?
They're happy in
Where is
moments.
a show about happy teens?
Happy teens.
Saved by the Bell.
No, but even then they've got their problems.
Right. I mean, teens
Sabrina
have
the
problems.
Teenage Witch.
Is it yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like,
All right,
her
let's
hardest
bring that
thing-
back.
Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had some
Kinda.
shit, but like mostly. It was like 4 episodes.
What do you
out of-
want? Like a cartoon?
I love a cartoon.
yeah.
He's a cartoon hater.
I hate
Are you?
cartoons.
Which is, I think that's just, cartoons are art.
Yeah.
Well,
They
it used
are.
to be
I love
art. Now they can just push a button and like recreate
Do you know
everything.
how much? Do you know
Yeah.
how much work
Just
goes
one
into
button.
Yep.
like?
Well, two.
Do you know
I
how much
want
work
this.
goes into making like the animation that is like even like Pixar or like any animation nowadays? Takes years to make those movies.
Maybe. Well, and then there's Cars 4. Okay. But
In my
anyways.
opinion, you're wrong.
Okay. Well, this is my show, and I'm always right. No.
Not your show. It's
Our show. Okay.
Anyways,
Whatever.
my weekend,
Yep.
I moved.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, what's your new place like?
It's messy right now.
Yeah,
'cause
what's your Wi-Fi called?
it's
No, don't say it, but mom listens to this podcast.
Also,
my
what's
mom
your-
also already knows. She saw my tweets. I tweeted about it, and I was like, "All right, well, sounds like my daughter."
Well, how was the move?
What's your address?
And my social security number is no, but I moved literally like a mile down the street from my old place, and it's right by.
Are you living by yourself or you got a roommate?
I'm living by myself. I'm gonna try to get a roommate because it is a 2-bedroom place, so then I would be saving mad monies. But we got to figure that out. But I'm like working on a bunch of stuff right now. I had a bunch of moving situations this weekend. I moved on Saturday. It was hot as fuck. We got everything in, and then everybody left. So then my mom had bought.
Yeah, sorry I didn't help you.
Yeah.
Well, I had a beer fest.
Yikes.
And I had that food to eat.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You're-
This is
so
awkward.
You have a boyfriend. He can help you.
He did help.
Okay, good.
I'll talk about my shout outs later for all the people who did help. And
It's
you
not
you redeemed yourself on the friend scale, which is another shout out I have later.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
But like for a while there.
Well, now I was about to say, I'm like, well, you're not on my shots either, but now I got to shout you out for some reason.
But you kind of lost some major friend points. But
Where were you when I moved?
you didn't ask.
Exactly. That's why you don't ask your friends to help you move.
No, you do.
No, you move on yourself.
You're right. You don't ask your friends to help you move. You just tip them.
Yeah, exactly. The only friends I ask to help me move is if they have a truck. That's the only friend
Well, no,
I'll ask.
I rented a truck. I did it. I just had
No,
a
I'm a
friend's-
grown up. I pay other people to move this shit for me.
I'm a grown up too, but it would have made no sense because of the way I was moving and everything. I did the math.
Okay.
So that's whatever. That's grown up enough. I ate a lot of nuggets because nobody stayed long enough for my reward for them for helping me move.
So I ate it all.
which was catering. I still have them, which is Chick-fil-A catering.
You know I'm hungry
Yes.
all the time.
You didn't deserve them though because
Okay.
so
True. I deserve
that's all
that.
I did this fucking weekend was cry.
Moving nuggets.
Was cry and move and eat nuggets and sit on my floor cross-legged and clean.
Well, I'm glad you had a great weekend.
Wow.
Oh man.
Anyways, let's move along. Let's listen to our fun guest weekend.
Yeah, what did you guys
Dear
do?
God. Okay, so we hung out together for the most part.
Okay.
because-
That's usually
Yeah,
us.
that's
Okay.
what
co-host
That's usually-
do.
Yeah, did you guys help move each other?
You know what?
No,
I've
exactly.
helped move-
That's why you guys hang out.
I've helped move all of my friends here, Morgan and David. I've helped move David twice.
Yeah. So what about me? I have a podcast with you. You don't help me move.
I asked you if you wanted my help, and you said no.
This is
was like
so
over
awkward.
a year ago.
This is the end of the podcast. We've driven them
This is our
apart.
last episode. Sorry.
We say that every episode too. It's like, guys, welcome to the final episode of Future Bachelor.
Yep, that
Anyway,
sounds
sorry
about
for
right.
sorry for being so
No.
rude, Veronica.
Oh,
Anyways,
totally fine.
Caitlin.
We hung out together
Uh-huh.
and with our husbands and another friend, and we played board games.
I love
One
it.
of like our shared hobbies.
What's one of our shared hobbies too? We are
Yeah,
game
the
night friends.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like more of the board games that we've been playing at the company.
Man, I wish I worked at the company.
No, you don't. You moved away
No,
from the company.
I don't.
Yeah.
I did leave the company.
Oh, you worked at the
you
company?
worked at-
I worked
worked
at
at
a different
the-
part of the company.
Oh, so what?
really?
Do you work at another company now?
I do work at a.
You could probably call that a company. I'm just saying.
I work at a partnership now.
Oh, holy shit!
She's fancy.
Okay.
Hey.
All right, who won the
Anyways.
games?
Nate.
Yeah, my husband. He
Yeah.
wins all the games.
Actually,
Your husband seems very
technically-
smart.
No,
He's
that's
so
not
smart.
true.
He's the smartest.
So
It's not true. What'd you say?
No, he didn't win all the games.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
he
like,
is
he's very
smart.
smart. She's like, that's not true.
Not true.
well, okay. So he didn't play the first game, so he didn't win that.
Right.
No.
He forfeited.
You can't
his
lose
spot.
if you don't play.
One. The second game, it was like a spelling game, which
And
sounds
he
really boring.
sucks at.
Which one, like Bananagrams or something?
Sort
It's called
of.
Letter
It's
Jam.
called
Letter Jam. It's awesome.
But I want
It's
to play.
exactly the same game, dude. It's
No,
like,
the rules
No.
could be different. Get out of here.
No.
what's the names? The names sound the same.
But he confused a C and a K.
It's a fruit
Got it
and
really
like
wrong.
a dessert or something, right? Banana jams and something caroms.
What?
What were the two games?
Anyways, keep playing.
No, what was
And
the name of the game you just said?
Bananagrams and letter jam.
Okay. Sounded a
Does
lot.
not have any bananas in it. And
There's
then-
letters inside of bananas though. I was just
That's for
listening.
Bananagrams.
Well,
Listen.
I was listening to the song
You
yesterday.
know what? I'm gonna
BANANS.
bring Letter Jam over and I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What if I
yeah.
win? Beginner's
gonna.
luck.
You're not gonna win.
Okay.
You're not gonna win.
You're not gonna.
You know.
You can't win if you don't play.
And then we played cartographers.
That one was
Ooh.
fun.
And
You draw maps.
I figured because of what that word
Yeah.
means.
and Nate. What was he? Nate the Kevin.
Oh my god, yeah. So you had to name yourself and like your status. I guess Nate read it wrong. Nate is my husband. So he gave himself two names. So he was Nate the Kevin.
Never trust someone with 2 first names.
Right? Exactly. Plus, he also got like some of the scoring
never trust
wrong.
someone with 2 first names. He
Oh,
got
wow.
the scoring wrong.
Yeah, he got the scoring
won.
wrong.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He beat me by like 15 points. And
Yeah.
then I looked at his score and I was like, you like have this wrong.
That's messed up.
She
What a
audited
hoe.
it because that's what she does.
Yeah, you don't fucked up, Nate the
At her
Kevin.
company.
No, at her
At the
partnership.
partnership.
Excuse me.
I'm not gonna lie. Nate the Kevin sounds like next year's like terrible #1 Billboard rapper or something.
Oh my
like that.
God.
It does.
Chance the Rapper is Nate the Kevin.
Hey, yo, don't put Chance the Rapper in like bad rapper.
Sorry, I'll take that out of my mouth.
territory.
Yeah, sorry.
Take his name out
this
your
house.
mouth. Out your mouth.
So that's
so-
fun. What
Yeah.
you guys get into anything else or just
Well,
games?
we recorded an episode
Oh,
of Back
okay.
to Podcast.
Okay.
That's
So
what-
we did the season finale. Are you guys like just moving on to
Yeah,
season 2?
season 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
Cranking them
breaks.
out.
Dude, I need to listen to that first
Grind
episode because
don't
I definitely
stop.
watched that first episode of season 2.
Oh,
we
yeah,
know.
that's
You
right.
mentioned it at least 50 times.
I know, you're like, well, actually, wait, that hasn't happened yet.
I can't help it.
I was like, shh.
Yeah, be quiet.
she's gonna have a baby. What was that? I was just thinking about that. What was that one word that you guys said, and you're like, oh, that's a good word. It had,
Mercurial.
yeah.
Oh
I was-
yeah,
that was
'Cause
another
I said
funny
mercurial,
part.
and
I was like, why y'all
sometimes have a hard time like saying it, but then you both were like, oh my god, good word.
I was like, why are we talking
That's
about
all
planets?
Yeah.
But anyways.
Really.
So funny.
Okay.
Oh,
So we realized today that Veronica is actually a self snob,
A Selt snob.
and we made up that word today. I think I made it up.
Yeah. Lipstick all over my face.
Yeah, probably. It's like right here around your mouth, but
it's on
You
your
don't.
lips, but other than that, you're fine.
it's all over my microphone too. But
Anymore, I didn't get
I'm just joking. But yeah, so we're thinking of a good name of the mega mix of like White Claws and Trulies.
Nope.
What if-
I don't think we need to say it on the air.
okay, I'm just saying, like, come up with combinations of it's funny.
Yeah, just think about that on your own.
Mine was really
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
I said, let's just say it. What did I start with? I was like, oh, they're Truly Claws. All right, cool. And they're like, what about like white Trulies? You're like, what about Truly White?
Truly white.
Truly white.
Yeah, they got kind of
From
racist.
the brownest person in here.
Well, I came from a really white part of New York, upstate. So,
Anywho, I think we got a plane to catch.
anyways, yeah, we do got to play the catch. Let's take it from upstate all the way downstate to Quick Hits.
Oh, okay.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you wanna start with the first one?
With quick hits, I never really. All right, Sai, what do we got for quick hits? Well, quick
I
hits.
couldn't really. Anyway.
Yeah, because I want to do the next one.
Our boy Pete Davidson.
Pete,
back
remember
in
when
it.
you used to talk about him like?
Remember when he made
all the
up like
time?
episodes 30 through like 50? That was
Oh
cool.
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, I mean it was a
What, are
big
you, like,
Ariana
obsessed with
Grande
him?
and
Why
not
are you so
obsessed.
obsessed with me.
But,
I had a friend actually ask me. She asked a group of us girls. She's like, "Would you fuck Pete Davidson just once?" And I said, "Just once." I couldn't do it. more than
Okay,
once.
weird flex.
Interesting.
I need it because of like the whole big dick energy thing.
Sure.
Oh, you are completely you fall for advertisement like and all that
Propaganda.
stuff.
I know, I would have to-
Propaganda.
I
Whatever,
would
like
have to-
Popeye's chicken and
It's
shit.
what-
She
I
has
would
to
have-
find out if it's true.
Have you eaten a
Yeah,
Popeye's chicken yet? Chicken sandwich?
I need to.
Oh, okay.
haven't
Well,
had
now they're
either.
sold out. So,
Yeah, until like October.
well, we'll get to that.
Oh, my
Anyways,
bad.
that's actually what. But,
Okay, now we got to talk about it
All right,
because we're
all right,
talking
go for it,
about
go for it.
So they're sold
bring up
out
P again.
until like October, and
Uh-huh.
like literally, we're all been trying it. We made fun of it last week about how like everybody's doing like the little taste test vids, and I mean, I wanted to do a taste test vid,
but we made fun of it, and I told her she couldn't. do
but
it.
no, but I still was gonna do
Well,
it
now you
because
can't, 'cause
I don't
they're
give a fuck. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Right,
But
okay.
now I can't. But I have to give it to Popeyes. They're smart ass motherfuckers. They are like now pushing their app, being all like, download our app and we'll let you know when our sandwiches are back in stock.
Oh yeah. Whoever
they're
they
smart.
hired for marketing, like
I think they
deserves
like
all of
probably
this
was
stuff.
like
I
they
hope
saved the
they're just
company.
their
Yeah.
marketing. Their marketers are just like rolling in money, just
Yeah.
like.
I doubt they're
like
rolling in
Scrooge
yeah,
money.
McDuck.
marketing
Like,
does make you a lot of money.
I don't think they're.
Yeah, no,
Is that what you do at the company?
Maybe.
No, I was gonna say though, I don't think they're making that much money. They probably you don't know what's going on in the background because they could have been heading towards like bankruptcy, and they were like,
I mean,
all right,
it's
this
Popeyes.
is our last what?
I mean, it's Popeyes, and we talked about it last time. They're like good, but like their main clientele are like drug dealers.
Jesus.
I can't actually
It's a
remember the
stereotype.
last time I ate at a Popeyes.
Oh.
True stereotype.
Well, I
My
mean,
husband and
I do
went there
like fried
2
chicken.
months ago before the chicken sandwich gate.
2 months ago. Like they can't.
Yeah, why do
rely
you
on
remember
Nate
that
showing up
exactly?
every
You're
2
like,
months.
June, whatever.
Every June 12th, my birthday.
Always
That's my
remember.
birthday present. I just really wanted to go to Popeyes.
Oh, he's so
No, my
sweet.
birthday present was Waffle House. Let's get that straight.
Okay.
Ooh, I love Waffle House.
Right? Because that's how that reaction comes through.
And it comes full circle because a lot of rappers die at Waffle House.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Hip Hop Murders of Atlanta.
Okay. That's a new show I'm working on with the company. But anywho, yeah, I mean Popeyes, like I think they made like $25 million last week just with that
Jeez.
alone.
I would like the one by my house, like the drive-through would be like double wrapped.
Yeah.
Well, there was like people that were smart, like I wish I thought of it, but like there was people signing people up to vote. Like,
I saw
in those
that.
lines and
I saw
stuff like
that.
that.
Nice.
I mean, you have people
Smart.
that are being stupid, waiting in that stupid line for a chicken sandwich. Anyways, that you can only have like 2 per car, so it's like you're waiting in there for just like one sandwich. Well, I don't understand what's wrong with people. Like I don't understand.
I love a good trend though.
You like waiting in line?
Oh, I mean, I obviously I didn't do it, but if I were to do, I would have went like at 10:30, so I would have beat the main rush.
Oh, because
Planning.
That's smart.
you don't think anybody else would have thought about that?
Not many people.
I'm gonna
did.
get there at
Whatever.
10 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
there before
Veronica.
Now, all right. Now you're just getting. That's just the stupidest way in the line, dude. Setting your
Yeah,
alarm.
it's us two in line. We're like,
Taking a PTO day. No, I mean,
working from home.
I mean, it is smart. And then also, yeah, you're talking about the app. That's a genius move too, because getting people to, to be able to get notified from your company is awesome. But also the fact that like they're doing like the whole like McRib thing where like it goes away and comes back. Like people love that.
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, pumpkin spice lattes came
Yep.
back this week, and they even announced a new pumpkin
Cream.
spice cream cold brew, which I kind of want to try.
I almost
kinda
got
want
it
to.
today.
I
and
hear
then
that the
cold brew
tip
machine was broken.
yeah, of course, those motherfuckers. I hear the tip is to get it without the vanilla syrup in it because then it's
I like
not too
vanilla.
sweet.
No, I even did that. I like had it all pulled up in the app, and I was like ordering it on the walk over, and I couldn't commit to it until we got there, and I had taken out the vanilla.
Interesting.
Guys, it changed, but earlier I swear I looked up like what like I looked up Popeye's chicken
This
sandwich.
is about to be a weird flag.
No, but I swear I looked up Popeye's chicken sandwich. It had the funniest description of what Popeye's chicken sandwich was. And it was like the guy that was describing the taste of it and what the sauce was. It was like it's like this heaven and this person's voice mixed with this, and it was like
So obviously, whoever then went back into the Wikipedia. And was
yeah,
like,
they're like, all right, this is ridiculous. But apparently it's really good. They got like a delicious ass pickle on there, and
Yeah.
their sauces.
Well,
and-
and KFC's kind of like hopping on this whole big fried
Oh,
chicken
yeah.
They did the, like,
trend. So they're
Beyond-
doing the Beyond Meat stuff, and they're testing it out in a couple of places, and like doing it like day onlys, testing it out in different places. So like it's just like a good
They
time
sold
to
out
be
in
in
5
fried
hours.
chicken.
No,
the chicken
that-
business is
Yeah, I saw
booming.
the lines for that one too, because aren't they testing it here?
yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
Yeah.
multiple like Georgia. I think it was like Smyrna. and
Well,
stuff.
Yeah.
they sold out of that in 5 hours. It looks weird though. Like I don't like the whole green bucket look and stuff of it.
I mean, I don't think all of them
and
were
doesn't have
actually
bones.
putting
It's
green.
just weird. You're just like it's like a
I don't
big
think
chicken
all of
nugget.
them were like in.
I thought they were chicken
a chicken
nuggets. I thought that was
sandwich
the
is.
point.
yeah.
No, they're like it look like a bucket of chicken. Like it looks like
Yeah.
fried chicken, but like bone. They don't have bones in it.
Maybe they
obviously,
should do a bucket of nuggets.
bucket.
I mean,
of
it was
It's
mostly
a
like nuggets.
nuggets.
I mean,
It's-
that's
Yeah, it's like
exactly
a
what
bucket
it
of
is.
big
just-
I mean, I
nuggets.
kind of want. I've had like Impossible Burger and whatever before,
Yeah.
and it's good.
So
I'd
we
be
got
interested.
Impossible. Now we got Beyond. What's the next one?
I mean, they're both like they've both been out about the same amount. Today.
Whatever.
Yeah.
White Claws, Trulies.
Anywho, so
Whites.
actually, Pete Davidson. We didn't actually
Yeah,
talk
we didn't
about it.
Anyways, Pete Davidson sucks. Anyways, no. Well, no. I thought this was interesting because he was at UCF, which is down in Orlando.
Yeah,
and
that
that's
is.
I was by that school for years, and never really went though. I was just DJing around there. But he was doing a show at the school's arena, and apparently like they were not supposed to have like cameras and their phones out and stuff, and people were busting them out, and he like got real like serious like just dissing the whole crowd and stuff.
And it's funny because he's only like a couple years older than most of them.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's just
Well, and he
pretentious,
should
rich asshole,
know.
famous dude. Now.
Yeah, he should have known. Like, this is 2019.
Well, he berated like the
unless
crowd.
they take their phones away, yeah, like people are gonna.
Everyone's
have
gonna
them.
have their
The funny
phones
part
out.
is like the
Yeah.
person that was that from the film I saw was like filming from behind someone's head or something.
Yeah, no,
like they're like
They
because they're
don't wanna
getting
get
shit
yelled
talked
at.
to and they
Yeah.
have their phone out.
Like, oh shit, it's me.
Well, I mean, thinking back, right? He's like, is he talking to me? Like, I'm not turning this off though. But yeah, so he starts like berating the crowd about like how like stupid and immature, like people can't follow rules and stuff, and like half the crowd is like following along. They're
Sure.
not busting out their camera, so every like
Yeah.
you start hearing like yeah, like like cheering them on. He's like, no, don't clap. It's like that's what's wrong with the world right now. It's like y'all are the ones doing it. Like if you literally were just filming and now you're clapping about like what I'm saying. It's like what is wrong with people? So it was kind of deep.
Damn, I feel like Pete. I don't know. I feel like Pete still needs to take some time. I feel like he.
Yeah, I know you're not
Like,
funny.
Definitely think he
Agree.
needs to take some time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because like he's like a type of comedian where first of all, comedians are supposed to like dish out stuff, so they're like if they're like sensitive, like that doesn't make for a good comedian. And secondly, like I mean sensitive to like comments and people joking on them.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
like you have to be able to
mean-
deal with like hecklers and stuff. Like obviously it sucks, and like you deal with it in the after, but you have to like be able to like I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll talk about more about comedy
yes,
and
we will, for my
comedians.
yikes
Your
moment.
yikes. But so I thought that was interesting because that kind of relates to the Popeyes shit too. It's like I feel like why do people just have to go get it just
I
because-
like fried chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I was about to say, I like to eat food.
I know. I was gonna say, like, for my birthday, I'm getting fried chicken. I'm getting hot chicken
Ah,
specifically.
I'm probably
Perfect.
gonna get like steak or meatballs for my birthday.
What about both?
Yeah, porque no las dos.
exactly.
Well, how do you?
Say that all the time. That's like our
I
phrase.
might say.
I send that little meme like all the time.
We found someone else who says it. She started it. I caught on, and now we found you.
and I'm over
You
here.
said it today. To
I
me.
did. I know.
Actually, like
I said porque no, because you only gave me one
porque,
option.
porque no.
Yes, because you gave me one option, not two. If it had been two,
It's funny
I
because
would've
I'm
said
the only
one of those.
Spanish one here, but
Yeah.
but
I'm this much Cuban.
I hate when she says that. But
I already talked to my mother with the maiden name Macias. Okay.
okay. I will have to talk to
You
her.
up. Yeah,
Oh.
Claude would fuck you up.
Oh yeah. Well, she was giving me praise on
I
the
know,
Future
she loves
Bachelor.
you, but,
I know.
Like, she'd fuck you up.
Okay. Because I would fight your mom. Anyways,
I'd like to see that.
but that's what I'm saying though. I feel I would pay to see that. See, that's what's wrong with the world, you guys.
My
But
mom is like built like me. She'd like kill you.
see, this is the problem. Like, I don't know why girls have to feel like they are gonna like sit here and be violent against
Oh
men.
no, whatever.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
So
You're
shut
I
up.
was gonna say we should
Step
What's
away
next?
from that. Yes.
All right. What do we want to talk about next?
Well, I think we were
Let's talk
talking
about
about
VMAs.
the VMAs hit an all-time low. That's just
Which
like
is weird because I thought this was one of the best VMAs in a long time.
I think it's just that people don't watch award shows as much anymore.
I mean, I didn't watch it live, but also I think it sucks like because we are Bachelor in Paradise watchers. It was on at the same time.
what they always put on
yeah.
like Mondays and
Monday
stuff now.
night, yeah.
It's just a stupid night to have an award show.
I will also say though, like from my company experience, like the ratings don't account for streaming.
Well, true.
So I think
That's
the
true.
audience that would be watching the VMAs, a lot of that audience would be streaming it.
that's very true.
So even though, because like also with the Bachelor,
But wouldn't they can still count that though, right? Are
they
you counting
can't.
It
Well, they
depends
just
on-
don't
it-
factor it into Nielsen ratings.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, it depends on what you're
it
looking
depends on
at,
like
I
your
think.
different things. With the Nielsen stuff, they still haven't like completely gotten there yet.
Nope.
I just
They're
don't think
working
people are
on-
gonna sit
Yeah, they have
through-
like
Yeah.
some stuff that kind of helps catch
It's
it,
just
but
an
not a
old
lot.
it's an old form. Like, first of all, these
Yeah.
award shows are kind of bullshit. Like they always give them to
Right.
like, the who's ever famous and
Well, and VMAs is definitely VMAs is like more like fan based. I feel like.
and also
Right.
like I just don't think like what's the point of watching all that stuff with your stupid commercials when like we're
Well,
just
and
catch
that's
the
the thing
re
is,
the,
yeah, I
the
can't- Yeah, I
highlights
mean,
the next day.
I watched
Watch the
all of the
performances.
performances the next day.
yeah,
Right.
you can
Yeah.
just go on Twitter and see everything about Lizzo.
That's true.
Like, I didn't-
which is where we saw her big ass.
Her big ass. She had an inflatable huge ass, and it was amazing.
Well, that's the only way. That's what's keeping it alive. I think is just involving the new artists.
Well, yeah.
Because if the new artists want to be there, the old art you won't see like Drake really
Well,
showing
but then
up there.
they had like
That's
they had
fine.
Missy Elliott for her award, and her set was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Was phenomenal. She brought out Allison Stoner, who's like from the original
Yep.
like Work It video,
Yes.
the dancer, the little girl.
It was so
Killed it.
good.
She was amazing.
Is she still a dancer?
Yeah. She's like a
'Cause she was
dancer,
in Step
YouTuber.
Up.
Yeah, she was in Step Up. She's in, she like does a lot of different
That's awesome.
stuff. and
Was
she
she
sings.
really in Step Up?
Yeah, she was the Channing
She was
Tatum's
the
like
younger
little.
sister.
We should start bringing in teen movies.
Okay.
Very special episode of Back
Yeah.
to Podcast.
Okay.
I think that's
would
actually
do
a
that.
smart idea for
That's
you
a
guys.
good
Bonus
idea.
episodes of dude. Yeah, that was a great
That's
idea.
good. I love it.
See,
One-offs.
Y'all pay me.
Here
I'm
at
so
the
good at
Future
this.
Bachelor.
Tip her.
It's just
Tip
like
her.
you just curate. Yeah, I'll give you. What's your Venmo? But no, I think that's smart. And also, I like how we kind of talked about she's all that on there. and
Yeah, we
stuff.
did because Andrea is she's all that,
Takes off her glasses and she's hot.
and she's a journalist.
Yeah.
Andrea is like every movie.
Right.
She really is.
She's every
She's
trope.
old enough to be every movie.
There's a little Andrea in all of
Every
us.
trope.
But yeah, so and I think I just also think like it's the formula's messed up. Like people are not watching any award shows these days. Like you
No,
know?
I don't
Yeah.
watch award shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's all, like the way they pick
I watch
like the
more
winners.
for the fashion.
Well, you would like
But that's the thing is like
I'm a
I can
weirdo.
just go to BuzzFeed the next day
Exactly.
and see like the 67 best dresses of blah blah blah.
well,
Like,
why don't it,
If
like
if it's a Sunday show, I'm gonna have it on while I do laundry.
Right.
I think
If
it's
a
more.
Monday,
It
I'm
needs
like,
to be
fuck
more
it.
interactive. Like we should be voting for it. Like, how do you expect us to watch it if like your guys are just
Yeah.
picking
I mean,
like what the
they
winners
for the
are?
VMAs they have like you vote for like the best new artist.
No,
I think it's
every
the ones
artist needs to be
like
picked.
that versus like the Oscars. I can't watch
Ugh.
anyway because I don't spend $17 on movie tickets.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
and
not
when I
anymore.
have, it
MoviePass.
hasn't been worth it.
Well, and that's the thing is like I'm not actually seeing all these movies that get voted in.
Buzz.
And also, like the Oscars has its own problems.
Well,
Oscars too white.
I
but-
have a Oscar party
Truly.
that I've had every single year at my house. Oh Jesus!
Dude, that's good though, right?
But, like I feel like Oscars are a fun social situation. 'Cause
Yes.
it's kind of like the Super Bowl of movie award shows.
Yeah. So at my like parties, like we require our guests to dress up like they're going to the Oscars. We have a red
I
carpet.
love that.
Well, you can be invited to the
Oh my
next
God.
one.
Nice.
Both of you, future bachelor at the Oscars.
Whoa! Oh my God! I would like to
Oh
thank
my gosh, you should show
Mama
up
D.
with the mics and just be like, "This is the future bachelor at the
Live
Oscars."
Oh my God!
at the Oscars.
We're the like on carpet like reporters.
Which one of you
Yeah.
is Joan?
Actually, guys.
I'll be like
Joan.
Juliana Rancic.
There you go.
I actually
I could be Ryan Seacrest.
Actually, they call me Cyan Seacrest back
Oh,
in the day.
yikes.
I actually played Ryan Seacrest
Can that
back
be
in the
my
day.
yikes moment of the week?
You guys, I just can leave, like, you know what I'm saying?
Science secrets.
I'm just saying though. So we were supposed to have our podcast meeting this past weekend, but you were moving and stuff,
Yeah,
and,
and
and you didn't help.
and I was
Yeah, you could have had
hungover.
it while moving.
hungover.
Yeah,
But
I was moving and cleaning and crying.
I was gonna come up with the idea, like I think we should do like the end of summer like pool party or something like that,
I
like
love
you know,
that.
and then like actually record a podcast at the party, like
Oh
before
yeah,
we
like
get
how
fucked
you
up.
do, like how like they do it, like with radio shows.
Right,
Yeah.
like do like a live
That's fun.
broadcast or something, and then just have fun.
Yeah.
And like invite all of like our guests, like
All of
co-hosts
our
and stuff,
guests, co-hosts, and
and
all of our
anybody that
friends
wants that,
and
our
fans.
listeners that want to fly in,
Oh.
Ooh.
because you know.
Play the
all
thing.
10 of them. Oh, one of them, would they fly in?
We can invite Kayla, our friend.
We do.
You guys have a friend?
A follower friend.
Oh, wow.
Dude, this girl.
We call them compadres.
You'll hear about her next week. We're shouting her out.
Dope.
Awesome.
Wednesday.
All right, we're totally off of our.
Well,
quick
okay,
hit.
so back to the VMAs. Charlemagne the God was talking about how. Jesus Christ.
He just flew here.
All right, we're here.
was talking
We're
about-
back to quick hits.
He didn't get how Megan Thee Stallion, my favorite person.
I love her so much.
Yeah.
too.
Well, she won an award at the VMAs.
Yeah, she also performed there too.
Yeah. So I mean, she won an award for Hot Girl Summer, which just came out like 2 weeks ago.
Which I didn't even know that's how that worked. Like time, I don't know how the VMAs.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't even have a video to it yet.
It comes
Oh.
out like this week.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
That's why Charlemagne the God had
That
a
is my
problem with
point.
it.
But also
Um,
like Charlemagne, I don't know.
it is dumb. Like those type of things make people like very confused on that stuff. We know why they're doing
category
it.
was that in?
It was just like hype song or whatever, and it's
Hype
like
song?
the hypest song of the summer, or like a song that gets you hype, and it beat out like people like Lizzo and all this other people.
Okay, well, I mean, I think, but Lizzo and
But, like, Lizzo would just
and
lift
Megan
her
Thee
up.
Stallion
Yeah.
are friends.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm
It'd
just
be a
saying
mix.
though. Megan Thee Stallion
ladies are like-
just dropped that song like last week.
Her
That's how
and Nicki
ridiculous
did, yeah.
these award shows are. It's like you can't.
This
like,
one doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
How do you like? That's there's nothing to it. Then it's like someone that made a song like a year ago
I feel
can't
like
be involved
Video
in
Music Awards, like I feel like they're very loose on even what that means as an award
Right. I
show
mean, you started
anymore.
with video,
Best
so it's like
power
and
anthem.
music awards. We'll call it the Video and Music Awards because Video Music Awards makes it sound
makes
like
no sense.
Music
yeah.
Video Awards.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I see why he was having a problem with that, but she was like, well, it's Video Music Awards, and I got the award for my song. But that was like
I love her. She's so cool. And she's
like
so
her.
hot. And I'm just like really into her.
that's what's up. Yeah, so I thought that was like
Birthday.
interesting, you know. And then
I want to talk about this.
What?
Hillary Duff.
Hell yeah. Go for it.
My gal.
Yes.
My girl.
Yes.
There's going to be a Lizzie McGuire reboot where she's in her 30s because she's in her 30s.
She's 30, flirty, and thriving.
Yes.
Keep talking because I have a theory.
And
that
on
falls in
Disney
line with
Plus,
what
so
you said.
Disney Plus is getting my money. Let it
hell
be
yeah.
known. They're getting my money, and there's going to be that. And I guess she also hired Lizzo to star on one of the episodes.
All because Lizzo asked.
Yeah, like fuck, like right.
No,
I am like,
That's my favorite part of Twitter culture of just like tweeting at someone being like, "Hey, Billy Ray Cyrus, will you come do this song with me?"
and Billy Ray Cyrus is like, yeah, I'm doing
I'm
literally
literally
what's
doing
Twitter?
nothing.
I've been waiting for you all my life since Achy Breaky Heart.
But it's amazing, and like Disney Plus is also going to be rebooting Proud Family, similar kind of
Which
situation,
I'm so excited
which I'm
for.
so
Interesting.
hyped for.
Yeah.
So like, I just feel like Disney Plus knows what they're doing.
And they like
Yeah.
are talking about like new like Marvel like series that
Exactly.
they're
And
about.
Disney
they're
Plus-
finally doing a Black Widow.
Yes,
Well, and they're
you.
doing a Miss Marvel and a She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Disney
They
Plus.
like they
yes.
firmly are going out to like their millennial women
Yes.
audience. They're like, we want your money,
And I'll give it to
we're all
them.
like, here you go. Here's all of our money. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So you know what, Disney Plus.
Lizzo is
you
getting
guys are-
everything right now.
She should.
She deserves
it.
it. I've been following her since 2015.
Jinx, y'all.
I have not.
Yeah, I know that was amazing.
Well, explain
I'm a
why
new
she
fan,
deserves
but
it.
that's okay.
She is a very talented artist.
Well, and she's such a positive energy.
She's
Yeah.
so positive. She's like, okay, I read this somewhere and I completely agree. Like, Lizzo is what Meghan Trainor was trying to be. Meghan Trainor
Yeah.
was trying to be like body positive, whatever, but like
it
none
didn't
of her
work.
stuff ever felt like came off that way
Well, and the
Yeah.
thing
or
is,
whatever.
Like,
and
she was
really,
being body positive for bigger people and then like shaming other women.
yeah, and it
Like-
just like yeah, it was.
How is she shaming?
She
I
was
don't
talking
remember
about
that one
like
song.
her one song was pretty much being all like skinny, but like skinny
Like-
girls don't get as much love from men because like men like women who have
Yeah,
more to
like don't go
about.
with the skinny girl, go with me.
Yeah,
And like that's fine that you want to raise yourself up, but like you should raise everyone up.
yeah.
Right. No, I really like her style. I was just wondering because I haven't listened to too much Lizzo yet, and I've just seen
it's
her like
so
good. You gotta get on
everywhere.
there.
Good.
So good.
What is she
Oh,
considered? A rapper or a singer?
She's like
Or just
I,
a-
don't, I
are
would
like
say
people
like
like-
she's an R&B
Yeah.
artist because like she raps, she
She does.
sings, she plays the flute,
Which is
she twerks
incredible.
while
She's a
playing the
flutist?
flautist.
Flautist. Float.
You're like on it today.
If it's Lizzo related, you're like, bitch, I'm gonna tell you what this is.
But like
I thought you were me.
Try
everyone. This is my podcast.
I'm the captain now.
Oh man. Yeah. So it's just really interesting to see like these
Yeah.
artists right now, and there's like I was saying, like it's just the biggest artists right now are female, so that's awesome.
I want to bring it back real quick to my Lizzie McGuire theory
Ooh,
because
do it.
I forgot.
I feel like with this reboot, it is literally like 13 going on 30, which when you said
Oh my
30, flirty,
God,
and thriving,
yes.
because I feel like she and Hillary Duff in like a couple interviews.
Yeah, because she's like in
recently-
I don't mean to
like
interrupt,
publishing
but
stuff.
Yeah, she's in publishing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But she said in an interview that there's going to be a ton of surprises, which obviously who the hell knows what that means, and that she has a fiance.
Ethan is gonna be on it.
Obviously, she has a fiance, but I'm like, okay,
Gordo?
Gordo is gonna be Maddie from 13 going on 30.
Oh my god.
They're gonna share razzles and then they're gonna get together.
Oh my god.
It's gonna happen.
13 going on 30 is my
I don't
favorite rom
want-
com.
Yeah,
I love
loves
13.
going
Well, it
on.
has a little
Who
time
doesn't?
travel
I was gonna
element.
say who doesn't?
Who
love?
doesn't?
Well,
it's a great movie.
well-
I don't want her to end up with Gordo, but I could see it happening
I mean, yeah.
because of how they're positioning it.
I mean, because Gordo plays into the whole idea of like a friend's enemy. I could get into.
I could see it. That's a good.
That's just my theory
prediction.
because she's 30, she's flirty, she's thriving.
Well, okay. Why do you guys keep saying that?
Because that's what I'm 13 going on 30.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I want to
and
be
plus, like,
30.
Okay.
Which I
Obviously, you guys like it way more than I do.
I don't know. I kind of feel that way.
Girl. I'm 29. You don't want to be 30.
I'm excited. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with 31.
There's nothing wrong with 30.
It just feels old.
And that's the thing that gets me.
Are you 30?
29.
She just said she's 29.
Well, I was just.
He doesn't listen.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not good
Well,
with
no.
numbers.
When my husband
I know when your birthday is.
When?
June 12th.
Okay.
Always remember. Never
June
forget.
12th.
Everybody who listens to this podcast is gonna be like, okay. So Caitlin's birthday.
She's like, I know. Like on next June 12th, they're like, forgetting
Why
something.
is this such an important date?
What happened today?
What happened today? Some old woman was born.
Oh, and that will be her 30th birthday.
Yeah, but who's 31 in here?
Oh,
About to be
31.
32.
31 and thriving. Let's go. But
Anyways,
flirty,
should 31 and a
single,
bitch.
Oh, yikes.
ready to mingle.
It's
Speaking
fine.
of yikes,
Yes.
All right, well, let's get back to the comedy. Science Seacrest. What made you go yikes this week, V? What actually made you go yikes?
All right.
Like something that was like yikes.
okay, wow, you went back to it.
I'm sorry, I just like to.
You haven't done it for a while.
I know, because I wanted to wait for a moment like now. A moment like this.
Wow, we both did.
Finally. All right. What made you go
anyways.
yikes?
So Dave Chappelle had his special come out on
Sticks and Stones, Netflix.
on Netflix. And he, in part of his bit, he talks about the whole Michael Jackson leaving Neverland, all
R.
of the
Kelly.
accusers, and R. Kelly, and all that stuff. And he says, he has this whole bit where he says that he doesn't believe the accusers of Michael Jackson and the sexual abuse that happened or potentially happened, etc. And people got a little bit upset, but my thing, okay.
Well, all right. Well, before you get into that, I haven't seen it yet.
And Michael Jackson's estate also commented, being all like, "We're with Dave Chappelle. They're liars. They waited until Michael Jackson was far dead to then go and do all this stuff. Blah 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 blah." So there's a whole bunch of yikes.
it's like a big conversation that he's talking about.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I read about it a little bit, and
Me
he's talking
too.
about the cancel culture and stuff, and
Yeah.
he's talking about how no one's safe.
the
Michael's been dead 10 years, and they're trying to
the part that he gets to this is he's all I've been known to be. He's like, I'm known in the streets as being a victim blamer. And he says this whole stuff, which my thing is if you know anything about Dave Chappelle's comedy, he's someone who consistently pushes the boundaries of funny to cringy.
Yep.
And I feel I don't really super agree with what he said in that situation, but would I watch the rest of his special? Probably.
or you don't have to.
Well,
Yeah,
and there's a
exactly.
whole thing that you always have to think of separating the art from the artist.
Right.
And at what point are you comfortable
That's an
with doing
episode
it?
for us.
That is.
That was when R. Kelly
first-
stuff came
yeah,
out.
our
But
first artist.
but really, what he was saying, then he went on to say which kind of is a little messed up. But he was but it was even if it did happen though, it was he was saying it was Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, that's
so he
where
was saying
I
the
have-
kids are going to school happy the next day or something
See,
like that.
that's where I
and
have
all
an
all of
issue.
us have and then us normal people have all we have is awkward
And
Thanksgivings.
he's
for
he's
us.
more than, and he jokes. He's half the people in here obviously have probably been molested or whatever. And it's that's where I get a little iffy.
Right,
It's where
that's-
he's saying stuff
I
like
don't-
that.
I don't know.
I don't
I don't
like
like
that.
I don't
That's
love
probably,
that.
bringing up some trauma for
True,
people.
it is,
Yeah.
but think about it though. If you think about it, majority of people have been molested in one way or
Yeah,
another.
but it's one thing,
But that doesn't make it okay.
No,
Yeah,
but
it's
I think it's also in a way it's also letting people know that it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's both sides.
There's
to
a
that
part in
coin.
13 Reasons Why that was really interesting because they were talking about being an ally or being a victim, and they're I'm a victim, and they did this whole thing in front of the whole school where they just started people that weren't even in the group were starting to stand up saying I'm a victim, and then guys started standing up and saying I'm a victim of all this stuff, and it was one of the characters that's been supporting the other girl that was a rape victim. Had been sexually molested when he was a kid and stuff, and it's it happens to a lot of people. You know what I'm
and
saying?
I think that's fine, but in that setting,
That's the
that
thing.
wasn't his point. His
Yeah,
point wasn't to say you're you're not alone.
well,
It's
Yeah.
not hashtag talking about it. It's
It's
right,
just
right,
being
Yeah.
I'm trying to be funny.
right.
yeah,
But that's what he does. He's a
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
And-
is that's the kind of thing. It's there's
And for
some,
it to be on the special, that means that people laughed at it, that joke, while he was working it in
I
different
was
clubs
gonna say
and
that's
stuff.
the thing is he was working it in places and enough people in the audience did not come back at him
Right.
Right.
repeatedly, or they did and he knew it was gonna cause conversation
Yeah.
and
I mean,
make
yeah.
people watch.
Well, when you
Right.
get to the scale of throwing it on Netflix where everybody's going to watch it or everyone can watch it, it's different than going to like this city and like this joke works saying it this way. And then you go to this city and you realize that there's more people like this. So you'll say the joke a little different. But, you know, like I'm like, we've gotten into this comedy talk a lot, like as far as like, you know, and I just think that like comedy is like the one place where like you should be able to still like let it be said. Like it depends on like, you know, like if this guy's like actively like trying to like hurt
Yeah.
people and stuff, that's one thing.
I
But
mean,
like
it's like, yeah, I know like Dave Chappelle doesn't like, he might not truly even believe that, but it does like come down to being like, there's like some things that like, I feel like how he set up parts of it are fine, and then how he like continued different parts of it weren't as okay. And I think
I still have to
that's-
watch it, so I can't really
Yeah.
speak too
Yeah,
much
I was
on
gonna
it.
say, I haven't seen
Yeah, I
it.
haven't
Right.
either.
But I've just like seen the
Yikes!
clip.
I mean,
Right.
I did see like, you know, people talking about it and stuff. So that was definitely, it's
So
funny
it's
because we
just
were both
like,
on
and
that.
it's just like yikesy also with just like how then it's involving the folks who like, you know, potentially like the accusers and then Michael Jackson's estate. It just like gets messy then in that point where it's like kind of like, did this all need to happen?
It would be
Yeah.
interesting,
Better
like if
not.
like he was like, you know, sexually molested when he was a kid, would he be telling that joke? That's
Well, and
interesting.
so did y'all see Aziz's special?
I saw that one. I thought it was good.
It was
Well,
good.
and I think, you know, I haven't seen Dave Chappelle, so I don't know.
He
the
addresses
difference
like his.
necessarily. But yeah, he addresses his, and he addresses Michael Jackson and R. Kelly as well
at the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I think the way he did it probably handled it.
Yeah, but
better.
he's also
Yeah,
was
I would
accused
agree.
of like things. It's different than Dave Chappelle, where he's not like, you know,
Yeah,
been.
but
that, like,
if he's
goes back to
known
your
as a
point, right?
victim blamer,
What's that?
if he's known as a victim blamer,
He
in-
says that. He
that's what I'm
says like,
saying,
you,
like-
but that's like a very like internet like headline type of thing. Like
Yeah.
you're a
Yeah.
victim blamer. It's like, pfft, what? Because I told a joke. Like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not victim
Well,
blaming things.
I
Like,
think there's just like, it's kind of like how certain people can say certain things and other people
right. Like
can't.
Pete Davidson can joke about 9/11 because his dad died in it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
I feel
it's yikesy.
It's
It's
yikesy.
yikesy.
It's
Yikes.
yikesy.
Yeah.
Well, there's a mini main topic. We can talk about
Do
it.
you think so?
Yeah,
don't
I would
know.
like to get your guys' opinion on
I
it.
feel like this could go too long though.
I don't care. I have Back to Pod. This is an event.
I have nowhere to be.
Yeah, exactly.
What was I doing?
Yeah, and I'm
Playing
single.
Slam?
Like this, you guys
I
are
just
already
care,
here.
I
so.
just care about our listeners.
Yeah, no, I know. She thinks that our listeners don't like hearing us, but they're listening to us talk. So
I mean,
it's-
yeah, but it's just easier. I care
I don't care about the time of the show. She does. So
Hang on,
we're gonna
guys.
green this back.
We got one.
All right, guys. I like to just talk about, because this is not just for. I do think about our listeners in this sense, because some of our listeners don't watch Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
So I
I mean,
like to
yeah,
talk
but I
about
mean,
someone
like, this
else.
is something we could always talk about.
Well, I try to come up with each week. But listen,
I really wish we had a Mary.
mini main topic of the
Yeah.
week, I wanted to talk about when you introduce your friends to each other and they hang out behind your back. So if like, have you guys ever been in a situation where you possibly like, you're like, oh, I would love to introduce this person to this person, and then are you guys just like interested in the Trulies, or what's
Yeah,
going on?
I really
She
here?
wants
wanted
a
a specific
pineapple.
flavor, so I'm trying to pass the message down the line.
Oh, you guys telephoned during the podcast. That's good.
Trying to.
We're all hanging out without you.
Okay, yeah. So,
So,
perfect example.
I feel this heavy.
Wow, you guys are genius.
I've had this happen plenty of times. Actually.
Well, hold on. Let me re-explain it again. So, like, you are a person to, like, you're like, I have this friend. They're from different friend group circles.
Yeah, and then you bring them all together.
Yeah, and you're like,
and
oh
then-
wow, this is gonna be a new cool friend group.
And then you like go out of town one weekend. And
Not
all
even
this-
go out of town.
or like whatever.
Like you just like
whatever.
see on like you know what I'm saying, Instagram snap, or like you just like no, like you know what I'm saying. They're like
Yeah.
hanging out,
They're
like you're
oh
like,
yeah, I just talked to whatever when I saw them.
and they're
last
down the
night.
street. Like you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's just the example. You know what I'm saying.
That's real life.
I'm just saying. What do you guys feel about that? Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, what the fuck?
When you introduce your friends to people, and then they, like your friends to your other friends, then they hang out without you.
No, that's like a huge fear in my life. Like,
I hate when it happens.
You are so serious when you
No,
say that.
I
You're like,
hate when it happens. It like makes me feel really shitty.
well, and I have like the most relevant story about it
Let me
because
hear it.
like,
Please don't be about me. Please don't be about me.
oh no, it's about you.
oh,
But no, it's good. It's good.
it's good because yeah, you're like, no, I'm not hanging out with
Actually
it.
happened. But like,
It did
so
happen. What happened?
so with Back to, it's us and Mary is like my best friend since high school.
Yeah.
And then Caitlin I haven't known as long, but like she's my other best friend, like 2 different friend groups.
This is awkward.
And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna bring all my friends together. And then I was like, but what if they like each other better than me?
Interesting.
And I was terrified. And then we have like group texts. And there was one time that there was a text outside the group text.
Oh,
How dare you,
It was
Caitlin?
because
She introduced y'all.
something happened in my life.
I felt betrayed.
And
That's a lie.
it wasn't. I didn't do it. It was Mary. Sorry, Mary. I love you.
Oh, she's not even here to defend herself.
Hey,
Mary, I got your back. Don't worry.
Bus.
Wow,
No,
chunk.
Honestly, something happened in my life that I was with Ariel for. Oh,
Wait.
Nice. Okay.
I was literally, something happened. I'm not going to say it on air. That Ariel was
I see.
with
Okay.
me. So she experienced this with me. Then I sent a picture. And then Mary texted me afterwards congratulating. So it's like different because she was there. If she wasn't there, I could see that being an issue.
But I also
Okay,
sent
wow,
a
this
picture
is like
I know,
so
it's
in the
awkward.
group text.
I know. So how did that
We're
make you feel?
offline. You're gonna have to
Oh,
tell
yes,
me more.
I'll tell you the details.
Well, no. I mean, so what were you gonna say? What was your example, Veronica?
My example, I feel like I'm trying to think of like friends I've introduced my friends to, but like there's definitely, I mean, there's just.
Well, I've been doing a lot of it lately. Like
yeah.
really, just
I mean,
like
which I
I'm
want
like
my
that.
friends to be.
Yeah.
Like I'm like that too. That's
First
the
of all,
thing.
I'm not
Like
cliquey.
you want all your friends to be
I'm
friends.
not cliquey
Right.
Yeah.
either.
Like some people will be though. They're like, nope, this is our crew that
This
goes
is my
out every
school friend.
weekend.
This
This is
is
the ones
my
we hang
whatever
call up to
friend.
hang out.
Times I'm not cliquey, but there are times that I kind of like hanging out with some friends over others, depending on like what's happening. Like I was the one who technically like introduced like one person to my other friend, and then they became closer because they lived a little bit closer to each other, and so then they hung out a bunch together, and then I felt kind of shitty because I'd be like, guys,
What about me?
What about me?
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm asking is like, what's the healthy way to deal with it, or what is like the regular? I mean, all right, because what I've been like feeling lately is like what feelings are like when we had Caleb and Melissa on here. Feelings are just like indicators of like just things that you're like, they're like signs of like the like. I don't know how to explain it. Like they make you feel a way, and it doesn't mean that like, so if you're like jealous or you're like whatever of it, doesn't mean that you have to like. It's just
Say
telling
it.
you like it might be like an insecurity in yourself.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna say,
100%.
the healthy, mature way to handle it is to have self-confidence and know that your friends want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But,
mean,
like-
or if you like really feel like they're actively not including you in things, or even if you don't feel like they're actively, maybe if you just feel like, hey,
It's not even like actively not like, why did they hit that person up like
Instead
thinking
of
that's
me.
gonna be a
And not
fun
me.
night and not
Yeah.
hit me up first,
Yeah.
That's
or be
exactly-
like,
I feel
do you
like-
want to come
yeah.
out too?
I feel like I
Yeah.
usually I've adjusted in the
Try to be
past, being like,
inclusive.
hey, like maybe I'll try to like reconnect the entire group, or if maybe one friend's been like talking to me, being like, how come I haven't seen you, or like whatever, I'm like, oh, well, I feel like you guys have been hanging out a lot, and I wasn't really invited to some of these things, and I'm like, I know I've been busy, but blah blah blah, and then usually like we can work it out.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's different. It's a different thing when like you have like a group of 3 people that are just friends. But I'm talking about like specifically when you're the one that introduced this
No, like,
person
I
to this
talked
You're
person.
the
about that
anchor.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're thinking you're gonna be the anchor. And
Yeah.
then,
No, like
like,
I'm talking. That's what I'm referring to,
Okay.
and like those people then sometimes start just like hanging out without like texting me, or maybe they're just texting one of each other, or like whatever, and then I'm kind of like, oh, I saw you guys were doing this.
Well, I feel like the way I've like dealt with it is to kind of like we've talked about it. Like I have problem with FOMO. I like being everywhere, and like that's why I feel really bad about when I miss those game nights and stuff, because I really want to be there, but
Yeah,
like
at the company.
at the company
At
and
the
stuff,
company.
because I really want to be everywhere and like be with like but I miss things. But I just started like not really planning on going out and have like I started thinking like, all right, I'm gonna be productive here on myself and do my things, and while they're out like having fun drinking, they're probably gonna wake up in the morning and feel like shit. You know what I'm saying?
You start
I'm
rationalizing
working
it.
out,
Yeah.
like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I feel like I don't like to like think about it like in a way of like putting what other people are doing down, but more of like a way of like I need like
not like putting what they're doing down, but like seeing the negatives in that behavior or those
like,
activities.
My thing is
you
like,
know?
or I like to just think about like what I need to do. Like I just want to put it back on like me because I don't want to
Yeah.
even like include what other people are doing, like what's best for them at that time. Because like I was supposed to go to New York for this weekend, but I've got a lot going on with my new apartment and whatever, and it just like wasn't going to be conducive for me to go to New York. And
I'm proud of you for making that decision.
And spending,
Yeah.
which was really really hard for me to do because I was going to be seeing friends and like whatever. But like
and Joe Bros.
yeah, and the Jonas Brothers for
Oh,
a second
man.
time. Yeah, it's
It's a thing.
She already met him
I
this
know
year.
It's a thing. That's
Yeah.
fine.
But so like I definitely had to like rationalize it to myself because like I feel FOMO like Sai a decent amount because we're very similar in that way that we like to just like be with people and everything.
Well, we also feel like we're like I don't know. Like there's I
mean,
feel like
I'm
we're
a
naturally
true-
center of attention.
I'm a
like
true
you know what I'm saying? Like
extrovert where I like
Yes.
gain so much energy
Yes.
from being with people that
I
like
sense that immediately.
when I've been with like when I was in college and I did my college like orientation group where I like helped do freshman orientation, I would be with 30 some people like me every week, whatever, and I would be so energized that I'd be vibrating. Like
Yeah.
I would literally be like buzzing. Like it'd be like I had drinking like a whole gallon of coffee, but I hadn't. It was
damn
just because I'd been
girl,
with
got
people.
some like natural drugs.
Yeah, it's wild. But
Those endorphins, man.
Oh shit.
but yeah,
Put
no,
that in a can.
but like with this situation I had to like really just think about like, okay, I've been so stressed out, like what's gonna like make me happy, and like not even think about like, okay, because at first I was like, well, I'm letting my friends down, like they plan this, blah, blah, like we blah, 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 all that stuff, and I'm like, no, like this would do so much to help me by like staying here, figuring stuff out, getting painter, like doing all these different things, and not spending just like shit tons of money in New York. Like it would just be so much conducive to me. And I feel like that's like the best way to handle those kinds of situations, because it's like, okay, like you can't think sometimes. Like I feel like especially extroverted or like very FOMO leaning people, we think about everybody else instead of ourselves, and like sometimes you really gotta like hone it back
Well,
in.
let me ask this: is this all right to do? Because like, it's a strategy I've kind of like done, and it kind of works actually. But
Yeah, I'm interested to hear.
well,
me
all right,
too.
it doesn't work in a group of 3. But if it's 3 or if it's 4 or more, it works.
Okay, so it works now.
So it works
good.
now.
We're cool.
Explain.
Well, so if like 2 friends or like people are like hanging out without you, you find like
The other friend.
the other friends, and you start like trying to be closer to them, and then the
feel
other
like
people are
that's
like,
not a-
damn, why are they hanging out with them? Like I thought they
I
were.
feel like, yeah, I mean, you don't want to incite jealousy, but like I feel like it is
it helps
good.
with the FOMO part, or
It
like
does.
the being
I mean,
left
like,
out.
does.
It
And maybe
also
you could
is-
build a
it's-
better
it's-
friendship.
I mean, it's good to like recenter and be like, I feel like there's times where I have to be like, I haven't hung out with this friend for a while. Like, why am I so stuck up on like these friends? I'm like, I
Right.
should probably
Focus on that
focus
friendship.
on that friend,
Yeah.
especially if I haven't really nurtured it recently.
Well, you were talking about earlier. You're like, so you and John and your little fellowship. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Well, yeah, John is like is a cool person in my life, because like I was feeling like really left out of things and stuff, and he came in like as like a person that just like was just loved like Future Bachelor. He was like loved everything I did, me like as
That's
a
how
person.
Sai likes his friends. He likes friends that likes everything.
I'm the same way about him though. Like I talk the same way about him. Like
Yeah,
you know,
because he like I like every yeah. I get
you know what I'm
you mean.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
like friends are supposed to like make you feel. Friends are supposed to make you feel good, and you know what I'm saying.
It
Like
won't support you, right?
Build you up, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Make you feel good, and don't make you feel stupid about things that like you
Yeah,
know.
like playing Catan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
What?
Letter jam? It's not banana
And friends
gram.
are supposed to help you move.
Bananagram.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go hang out with Mary.
Oh my god! I love it. Let me
Oh,
tell
and
you.
you would love Mary so much. She's such a good
No,
person.
Mary's my favorite.
Literally.
Wow.
No, have you heard it on the pod?
He just told us all to our faces that the one person
I was
on here
legit
is
bummed
his favorite.
that she wasn't coming, because
He's like, well, fuck you guys.
no, she's legit.
Fuck your drag.
She's legit. I thought she
Fuck
was
your
funny
drag.
as hell.
She's someone you want in your corner.
Right.
Like, if you ever need a pick me up,
I was
literally,
gonna say, if
she'll
you like
tell you.
people
She's the
that,
cutest little thing.
like all the things that you do,
Yeah.
Mary is your best friend.
She's
Yeah.
the definition of that friend that you're talking about. That
Positive
should be
affirmations,
supportive.
like,
and,
that's
yeah.
her name.
Yeah.
I
My
just- I
love
think it's
language
important.
is
Positive
affirmations.
affirmations.
Yes.
In my life, I find that you need those people more than you need like your friends that like make you feel like shit because
for
you had a
sure.
bad
But
night.
you also, I feel like you also need friends that are like not gonna give you bullshit.
Well, but that's the
No,
thing.
that's
you can
different.
give someone positive
Right.
affirmation, but still call you out. Like,
yeah, I
I
call
was
out.
gonna say Mary is the best at telling me when I've got something completely wrong in like the nicest way.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, in a constructive way.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I love you, but that doesn't work for you. Or like, you know, something.
Yeah.
And like I'll say something and she'll be like,
Like tough love, but
I
like
think it's
tough
actually
love.
this,
Yeah.
but it could still be that thing.
Like
you're saying.
truly tough love in its finest, because that's like
Yeah.
being loving, but also like kind of being tough, because you're like, hey,
Yeah. Let's be real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things though, like, you know, and I just think like, you know, when I see, like, we talk about it, like when girls like be like messaging each other and being like, get it girl, ooh girl, you fire, and stuff like that. I feel like, why can't guys be like that with guys
I mean,
too?
they can.
They
It's
should.
called-
That's what I'm trying to
it's
do.
called
Like, you know,
masculinity. It's a
Toxic.
guys and toxic.
masculinity.
No,
And-
seriously, if you like what a dude's doing, tell him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like seriously, going back to Mary, I posted a picture once of myself reading a map, and she goes, "That's my baby reading map."
even though it's upside down.
Cutie.
That's my baby reading maps. Wow, that's, you guys
Yeah.
really are hardcore.
No, they're like
was all caps.
they're
It
the
was-
best friends like you've ever seen.
Right.
It's adorable.
Yeah, and I think that's dope. Like, I mean, you just, and those are the type of bonds that like really
Yeah.
mean something, I feel like, you know? And so, that's what I started leaning into, more of that stuff. Like when I was feeling like dark about these things, like, well, there's actually people that want to be around you. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you search for those people,
Yeah.
like, you know,
for sure.
You're valued. And like
so many times in
many
our
different
lives, I feel like, you know, that
We
happens
waste
a lot.
time.
Like, I feel like, no, well, I just feel like people will like show interest in you, and you kind of like, I already got my friends, I don't need like more friends, like, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of
Who
just like
thinks that?
take it for
I know,
granted.
right?
Well, I'm just saying, like, you take it for granted. Someone's
Yeah.
just like, do you want to hang out? And you're like, well, I kind of have this going on this weekend with your fun friends and stuff, and you know, like, why don't we just like take a second?
Include.
Yeah, why don't we include them?
Yeah.
You know, at first when I brought John into the group, like, you know, he was like whatever, but like everybody started like embracing him, and he's
Yeah.
got so many good qualities that like people really like about him and stuff. Like, and now, like, you know, he's like integrated in like the crew,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying, and vice, like, he's doing the same for his friends. Like, I've met a bunch of his crew of his friends, and we all get along and stuff now. So I just thought it was interesting to talk about it. It can be so many different scenarios of this. Like, you know, I'd be interested to hear if other people like deal with it and how they've done like dealt with it, or if they haven't. But I'm glad we got to talk about it. I was just like kind of like wondering like how you
Yeah,
guys felt
no.
about
Well,
it.
I haven't actually had that happen.
Really?
But,
Wow, lucky you.
Well, but I'm that person that fears that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or that, like, even just my current friends, like, my biggest fear in life is that all of my friends aren't actually my friends. Like,
Oh,
like
jeez. That's
a
because
Black Mirror.
It's bad because I'm a giver in friendships.
Yeah.
So, like, I tend to be the one that's, like, a little bit more, like, I'm going to go out of my way to make sure you're happy. I'm a people pleaser. So that's, like,
Yeah.
literally my biggest flaw. But, so, like, my
That's
constant...
a good. I think that's key too, to realize, maybe to look at yourself too and see if there's things maybe that you could be doing differently. You know, what's your
that's the
flaws?
thing.
And,
Yeah, like I know that I have this like insecurity that I'm like, okay, I got to make sure everyone's happy. Like you were just talking about, I got to make sure everyone's happy before I'm happy. But then it gets me in like a catch-22 because then I'm like, well, wait a minute, that friend who I just like went on a limb for, they don't think that way. So they're not necessarily concerned about my
No,
happiness.
yeah, and
Can't
that's,
make
and that's
people
when the
think the same
two-way
way you do.
street is
Yeah.
just a one-way street.
I always say that
Exactly.
you can't make people love the same, like love
the
you
same
the same way. You know?
Totally. I mean, that's why love languages.
I'm
exist.
just on this show. I like to be very honest, and transparent, and like I have two flaws that like I'm like working on myself. Like for one of them, like when I came to, someone actually like broke it down to me. They call me like you're a lover boy, and I am like,
Oh,
you know,
for sure,
yeah. Like
dude.
if I see a girl that I like, I'm like, oh my god, she's like hot, Or,
Obsessed.
yeah, well, not obsessed, but I'm just like, you know, I'm very vocal about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I would love to hang out with her, like, you know, whatever. And that's something where it's like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but other people might look at it bad, and like it's like, oh, they don't want to bring Sai around because he's always like trying to hook up with like girls or something like that. And it's like, okay, well, that's, everyone's trying to hook up with people, like, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm just like expressive about it, and so it's like, you know, all right,
I'm just
well,
thinking of the song "Push a Love" by Justin
Love.
Timberlake.
Interesting.
Because it's like you're like it's your drug.
yeah, I mean, I just love love. Like it's just
Yeah.
like I'm a romantic. I'm single like right now, so I'm just kind of trying to see who's like the one for me and stuff. So, and it's usually
Sounds
people that are
like
in relationships.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Right.
John Paul Jones?
We'll get there. But
yikes.
I just feel like some people, especially the ones that are judging, are the ones that are in like the relationships and stuff like that. So you have to kind of like look at it from like, internalize it, maybe, just focus on the friend side of it and having fun, and whatever happens is going to happen. As I grow older, that's just me maturing, A second one is that I realize is that like, I'm also not a planner. So like every
Which I
time.
am. This is why we're perfect.
Yeah.
Right. So she'll
We're
be
both
like,
planners.
really? See,
Yeah.
I'm not a planner. But I want to be there wherever you guys are having fun. I'm just not the one that's like, hey guys, sending out the group text like, why don't we do this weekend and stuff like that. So, that's another thing I want to start working on is like, it's just like the thing with me is that like the planning thing is because I have too much things I want to be productive in, my podcast, my music.
But if you planned it,
Then you'd be productive
you
in
could
all of it.
segment it.
Maybe. Yeah, good point. But honestly, I'm more in the sense of like, just tell me when you're doing something and I'll go. Like, I just don't want to have to like, because if I start planning
But
things.
then it's like hard for other people to plan around just like
Right.
when you could be there.
just
Although-
ask if I can
So
make
it's like
it.
kind of like that's like not to say selfish, but it is kind of selfish.
It
I will
is.
say,
And that's why I said
though,
it was a flaw.
My husband's very much like that. Like he plans certain things, but then when it comes to like a date night or like, for
yeah,
example,
I'm
like
the planner.
I'm more of like, I'm not a foodie, but like I'm more of one than he is.
Yeah, like, and you like sometimes you're like, I just want to go out. to a
Exactly.
night- I
So-
like want us to have a nice night out.
Yes,
and like
and
go
I
to a
say that.
restaurant. I'll make a fucking reservation. But like, it'd be nice if you did it.
Can I just talk from a guy's
yes,
perspective?
But
Okay, say it.
like I say that, and he's like, just plan it and we'll do it. Like he's always open to the idea.
Yeah.
But sometimes, that makes me a
sometimes
little
you just feel like-
frustrated. I'm like,
We
sometimes
can
build
you
it up
do
in our heads, though. We build it up in our heads that like whatever idea is, it's just not going to
no.
impress
I
you.
feel like
I
sometimes
had Waffle House on my birthday. That was the expectation.
Trust me, I want pizza for Thanksgiving feast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with you right there. But I'm just saying, like, it's just like, I don't know. It's just that's the pressure of the like of the guy. I feel like, they're just
Well,
like,
I think
I could try, and this is just like
I
not
think
like
it's
what
just
she
the
would have thought would
planner
have been.
versus not planner.
Yeah,
more
I
than
feel
the
like, yeah.
expectation. Because like I know for him, he's like, well, I'm gonna pick a bad time, or the restaurant's not gonna be available. Like that time's not like whatever. And
I feel that.
personally, I don't care.
I mean, I'm like a planner, and like with like my boyfriend and I'm always like, okay, like I would like us to do this, I like us to do that, like I can make these plans, I can do whatever. But I think I worry more about because like, he's a little bit more picky than I am, and he'll be, and I'm like,
do we have a similar relationship?
yeah, and I'm
Are
always
you
like,
dating Nate?
Guys, we already established.
And I'm always
You're
like-
the podcast version of Veronica, the Back To podcast
I'm
version.
like, well, babe, like I don't want to pick something that you're not gonna fucking like because I'm gonna be planning all this stuff in my head for you not to even enjoy it.
Yes, 100%.
I feel like
we're on the same way.
you just need to go somewhere that has like some version of a kid's menu and just be like, I don't give a shit what you order. I'm going to get the black truffle mushroom pasta.
I know, yeah. We did a nice dinner, and I got like the nice.
Yeah,
That might be the
the
thing is
cheapest thing on
too.
the
Guys
menu.
just like chicken fingers.
and he got like the salmon, and then he realized he wanted like what I got, and I was like, well, I'm gonna share with you because I'm a nice.
Because you're
person.
nice, yes. Oh my gosh, this is us.
Why are you shaking your head, Ariel?
Because she knows. She knows
Yeah.
this is my
No,
relationship.
we went out to dinner for my husband's birthday, and we went to Gun Show, and so,
Which
like,
is
I
excellent.
don't know,
It's so good.
and they do the.
I love how you guys know what Gun Show is. I'm like, oh, that's a restaurant.
It's so
Well,
good.
okay,
It's so
The way that
good,
it
and they
works-
have cold beer now too. It's like
I
I need
thought
to
about
go.
going to cold beer for my birthday.
I want to go really
but
bad.
they're not open on Mondays, and my birthday's on a Monday, so.
Oh yeah.
What's the date?
we can go on Tuesday.
Like a Tuesday or Sunday.
Always remember the what?
The 9th.
The 9th of September.
Oh, see, I told you it works.
Oh, your birthday's soon.
Yeah.
It's in 2 weeks.
Oh,
I'm gonna
shoot.
go help her paint because I'm a good friend.
Yeah, I was like, oh, the weekend after my birthday, my husband's at a bachelor party all weekend. So I was like, oh, rather than like do something for my birthday, I'm probably just gonna like sit at home, paint. I gotta like do some stuff with some outlet covers. And Caitlin offered to come hang out with me and paint.
She also
Yeah, that
said we're
doesn't
gonna
sound like
drink beer.
moving though.
But it's
I also-
labor.
You haven't seen my ceiling.
Labor.
I
What
have
the hell
my
do you call
ceiling.
it? Painting.
Bruh.
She said,
No, not painting the outlet covers, painting the
No,
house.
I have to replace all the outlet covers because the last person painted them.
Yeah.
okay.
But then I also need
Painting
to, like,
is fun though.
Is it?
To me, I like painting.
what are
I
you
don't know,
doing
maybe
on
it's-
September 5th?
Well, maybe instead of hiring
I will
the
be
painters
at,
I just hired, I should have just hired you.
Yeah.
Are you getting
Just
I'll
give
be
you a tip.
hungover.
Just give you a tip.
Yeah, just tip them. Are you getting FOMO from this whole painting
A
experience?
little bit.
Because you
I don't
can't come
know.
over.
It sounds way more
Yeah,
fun than
no,
moving.
we're gonna
but-
hang out. We're gonna listen to podcasts.
I
We're
would
probably
be
gonna
fucking
drink some
nuggets.
Truly Whites.
Yeah, Truly White
Can
on
Mary
tap.
come?
Mary likes painting. She
All
helped
right,
me paint
sick.
the first
All right.
time.
I feel like we should get into
Probably.
some
Yeah.
drams.
Okay, well, let's talk about
Almost
Bachelor in Paradise.
paradise. All right.
What do you
on
guys think of the show? Is this the
we're
first
on
time you ever watched
week
it?
This is
4.
the first time I've ever watched
First time
it.
ever.
And, the
And
thing
this was
is,
the
like,
week of tears. You guys like entered
Oh my
in a
God,
very
it was
emotional
so
week.
good.
Not
cried
next week's gonna
all
be a
the
lot of tears. They
time.
say.
I'm
though.
so excited.
John-
Shut up! Are you really?
Yes.
You're gonna watch it?
So here's the thing: is like I don't watch reality TV because when I do, I watch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucked
I
it.
The
Like
challenge
feel
started
this.
this week
I-
tonight. I think.
I
The new
don't do
challenge.
that.
And the thing is, yeah, I like purposely stay away from all of it because I'm like, I'm gonna get
'Cause
sucked
you're
into
like,
this,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden I'm gonna be watching 12 different versions
You're
of
like
the Real
curled up on the
Housewives.
Right.
couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
I hate when I
With
get
your
into
blanket
that.
like you did last night.
Yeah, I was like directly in my like air conditioning flow, and I was like, oh, I'm freezing.
I might have to rearrange my living room.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, am I gonna cry again?
No, that's just the AC making my tears.
Yeah, like it's
Form.
just blowing into my eyeballs. But anyways,
Yeah, so,
your
yeah.
guys' first impressions.
First time. Oh God. So
What would you give it a good or? Oh, we'll talk about the get grade later. But would you think it was a good show or a bad show?
I was
But
conflicted.
I loved it because it embraced what it was.
Exactly.
Like I
Yeah.
was watching the intro
Yeah.
and I was like, Dylan, the emotional one.
Yeah.
Like, you could see it in their intro.
Right, right. The
Clay,
intro's
the,
the best
clear
part.
football player. Like
JPJ, the goofy one.
yeah, right.
Blake,
Which
the
one did you
toe.
hate? What was your the one that you hated the most? Out
TJ.
Of
The
the
person.
Who the hell's TJ?
It's Tajwan.
Tajwan.
I was
Tajwan?
trying to take my
She
notes,
was
and I could not spell her name, and then it
awful.
was so long.
Tajwan.
so-
It's TAHJZUAN.
yeah, I kept
Yeah.
reading the Z,
Yeah.
but like,
I
no,
didn't-
hated her.
Oh my
Loved
god.
her, but hated her.
It's so
I
hot.
couldn't deal. I could not. So Tajwan
like
comes
go inside.
on-
There's literally an ocean in front of you.
Okay.
Tajwan
so-
comes on first episode of this week. So there's 2 episodes. She came on first of the first night, and you know it's hard. We're into it now. Like you're coming in late. You're gonna have a hard time.
Yep.
Even just making friends.
And,
Or
like,
just talking to people.
Yeah.
But she also didn't come in with the right attitude.
She didn't come in being
No.
friends.
She
She
was.
didn't.
She was all like, "I almost missed my flight." Blah blah blah. It's fucking
hot.
like, and she was.
Well, she's black woman with
Well-
black woman hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? That could get like
Yeah,
real
but so
hot and
is,
sweat it
like-
out. Like you start
so is,
thinking
like,
about
I
half the
have
other-
Mary's notes.
Okay.
Mary.
Yeah.
Give Mary's
You gotta
take.
read it like
I
Mary
want
though.
Mary's take.
I couldn't. I never
You could, yeah.
We could
We'll just
never
pretend you're
replace Mary.
Jim's secretary when you got a
Oh
promotion.
yeah, there you go. Do that one.
I don't even know if I could be that robotic.
Mr.
But
Jim.
Mary had a theory that like every time she was taking a sip of water, it was actually alcohol.
Oh, it for sure was. She was
Yeah.
drunk as fuck.
So she was like getting dehydrated, and then it was really hot, and then like
But, like,
that's why
that's
she was drunk, being like,
amateur
"You're
hour."
a pigeon, and I'm a seagull."
that
made
was
no
kind of
sense.
messed up.
Makes sense.
That's exactly what I
Why
said
would you
too.
want to be a seagull?
A seagull is literally the pigeon of the
seagull
beach.
of the ocean.
Yes, I know. And Haley, who also was a new addition this week,
Yep.
said that she was like, "Does she not understand that these are like the
The
same?"
No, but then she said it with like the analogy of like Earth and the ocean, and the ocean's still part of the Earth. Like, you know?
Like, I know.
I mean, she doesn't claim to be like super
Smart.
Well, I just like how John Paul
Anything.
Jones is like, she looks like a celebrity. She's
She's got the brains of a
surgeon.
doctor.
Yeah, she's got the brains of like a doctor. It's like
I'm like, she's from Las.
Well, okay, but let's talk
Vegas.
about his intelligence. 'Cause, like, he probably thought she was really smart because he was like, "What does your name mean?" And she was like, "Well, it's Juan."
yeah. He's like, oh, it's like John, like me.
No, but he said something like he's like not the origins of like what her
Yeah, he
name
said like the what did he say? It was like
the
the
epitome
ophthalmology.
or yeah, etymology.
He wanted to say etymology, but I
That's
think
not
he
what he
said
said.
like ophthalmology. Like, what is the eye
Epidemiology?
care of your name?
She's like, it's 2020. I think.
Well, she asked JPJ out on a date. He like very, that date was
JPJ
awkward as
got
hell.
two
Two
dates this.
I don't understand that. I was
I
like,
don't
"Why are all
either.
these girls up on JPJ?"
I love JPJ, but this week made me not love him. That
No,
much.
this is the
a
downfall of
turning point
JPJ
of
because
JPJ.
the reason why is because we're seeing him 4 weeks in, but there was like after the Rose and Men Tell All after the Bachelorette, which he was on the past season, like a couple of months ago, and he came off really funny and quirky and just like he's people say he's like looks like Heath Ledger, all this different stuff. So
that's an insult to Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I know the insult was Taisha says it's like he looks like a good-looking Heath Ledger.
Oh,
wow.
Tasha, I love you, but close your mouth.
You're the most normal.
Know who JPJ is? Steve from Beverly Hills.
Oh, Steve.
But like Mary said, he's got Dean from Gilmore Girls hair.
Oh, he does. Oh, fuck Dean.
Not to get confused with Dean from the show.
I'm like a low key Gilmore Girls hater.
I know.
I don't
remember
talk
from
to
your
you.
podcast.
I don't want to talk.
This is the
I'm
same
like
exact
Team
conversation.
Paris.
Back to Stars Hollow.
Everyone's Team Paris because she's the
Everyone is-
greatest.
She's the best. Okay,
Guys,
then
this is
we're on
the Bachelor podcast.
We're on the same page.
Our podcast turns into a Gilmore Girls podcast too. It's
Oh, you guys should honestly just do it. But okay,
Back to Stars Hollow.
yeah.
so
After we finish these 300 episodes, we'll do those 200
Once I'm
episodes.
33.
Guys, back to Future Bachelor.
okay, so the first night, honestly, not that much happened besides the fact that JPJ went on 2 dates and now he's confused. And
He's
then
real sad about touching those booties.
yeah, so sad, so confused. And even towards the end of that day was like, well, during that day is when Tayshia's like, I mean, we should explore our options.
Yeah, she was straight up about that.
I mean, she was like, I think we
She's
should.
like, I don't like you.
I know. She was like, you want to go date 2 other girls? That's totally cool.
That's
like,
fine with me.
I got Derek over here.
She's like, I've got a heartbroken Derek, fresh off like being dumped by Demi.
Well, also
Yep.
I'm reading between the lines too because like it's like she's she's not putting her eggs in one basket,
Which
but,
is smart.
But she's
It's
also,
smart.
Real
you know what I'm saying?
smart.
She's still like, even if she wants to pursue Derek, she has to like make sure that JPJ would
Well,
give
yeah,
her the
'cause
rose to
his
stay.
stays
if he
interest.
needs-
But at
yeah.
the same time, I don't think she's leading him on because she was very much
No.
like, go
I don't
date
think
someone.
she's leading him on, but I think she probably knows
didn't communicate
enough about his
anything
She was
to him.
personality.
she was playing
Yeah.
the game a little bit better, and I think
Yes.
JPJ doesn't really know how to play the game.
He doesn't
Yeah.
even know what the game is.
Well,
Neither does Derek.
Did was there
being
ever
honest.
a conversation though besides like the wedding where he
Well,
like
no, she talked. What do you mean?
like I'm just saying like did
About
she ever be
Derek?
like and like because like eventually like
I mean, she
when-
never
Well,
like
'cause the
told
thing is,
JPJ that she was into Derek specifically, but she
No.
was like telling him like, hey, like I want to. I mean, I think she actually did because he said something. He's like, yeah, like she said that she was feeling things with Derek. So in the second episode,
Right.
Okay,
right,
well,
right.
in this episode also, Kaylin's celebrating her birthday.
she turned 24.
Okay.
Worst birthday ever. Poor
And-
girl.
Kaylin, man.
Well, there was good parts.
Kaylin and
Yeah, and then it just like.
Well, I kind of wanted to get your guys'
shit.
opinion on this. So let's explain what happened.
so okay, going end of first night into second night, Kaylin is celebrating her birthday. They do the rose ceremony.
Before the rose ceremony, they're like popping champagne.
They pop
for
in
Dean pops
champagne.
champagne for
Dean
does the
brings
whole
her a
birthday
cake.
cake.
He brings her the birthday
Does the whole
stuff.
thing. They do the rose ceremony. She gets her rose from Dean. She's really feeling confident because she had been very wary of Dean the entire time.
Very.
She's all
That's
like,
because he lives in a van down by the river.
and has a mustache.
She's saying she's being wary
but
of
like,
Dean.
I mean,
she's not actually being.
She's wary. Like she's like,
I can
she's
fix
like,
him.
she's like, yes, she's which
24.
I feel her. I feel her. I've been that girl. I've been that like,
Who
I'll fix
hasn't?
him.
Who hasn't?
Like, but then she feels super confident, and then after the rose ceremony, Dean's like, let me come talk to you, and she's like,
Well,
oh,
she
wait,
had
are you
also,
serious?
Well, she
are you
had,
serious?
Well, she had already pulled him aside earlier.
Yeah,
in the
well,
show.
they had already talked earlier.
They were on the same page.
And what did he say to her? What did Dean say to Kaylin?
Well, he said, I don't know.
He said essentially he was like, "Look, I don't even think by the end of this show I could get to where you need to
that
be."
was in the second
That was
conversation.
that was the second
No,
conversation.
no. They were sitting on the
I
bed.
don't remember what they said.
That was
but
in
I
the
do
second. That's
remember
in the
writing
second
down,
conversation. That's like when he breaks up with her.
No. There was a
Yeah,
first
it is.
conversation. Listen, there was a first conversation on the daybed, and she was like, "So what are you looking out of this?" He's like, "Look, I can't tell you by the end of the show." And she was quiet after that. And she was like, "Well, you're like quiet now." She's like, "I just don't have anything to say."
Oh,
that was the
that
first
what you're talking about.
conversation.
That was when I wrote
That was
in my
before the
notes.
rose ceremony.
That was when.
Thank you guys for pulling up the notes, the receipts on Veronica.
Well, yeah, but then
It's not
they
that,
have
though.
pretty much the same conversation the second
yeah,
time
but I'm
around.
just saying the
just-
first time they did have that.
But then she was like, "Oh, he proved it to me because then he
Yeah,
did the stuff with the
yeah.
birthday and everything." And
That's how
he-
dumb she is.
And then
No, no.
even he like proved it
No,
to her
that's
like
how young
during
she
the
is.
like
young and dumb.
during like the like rose ceremony, even how he talked to her, and
Yeah.
then he like pulled her aside.
truth be told, all he really told her in that first conversation, it wasn't the whole "I don't think I'll be where you're at" because that was the second one. He was basically telling her like, "I am technically homeless." Like,
well, he's saying their lives wouldn't match up, like outside of the show.
But that was
it
second
just-
conversation.
It was more like Well, he did
She got the
say
sense
whole,
from that
like, I
conversation.
don't want a real job.
Yeah.
But he didn't say, I'm
Well,
not
neither
gonna
did she,
be
let's be
there.
real.
No, he's like, I don't want to do like dinner
Oh,
dates
no,
on the
yeah, she wants to be a
weekend and all
housewife.
that stuff. Like that's essentially him saying like it's not happening. And
Yeah.
so she should have known then, even
But
though
then
he
he
celebrated.
like proved it to her, and then during like the
Quote, unquote,
cocktail
proved it to
party,
they were still having fun.
during like the cocktail party and everything, he like made like he was saying other shit that was very much so like you're so great, you're so whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Maybe
I
she
feel
is.
so connected to you.
and then pulled her aside and then was like,
The thing is,
JK.
like, they know what show they're on. Like,
yeah. Word.
Well, this is my issue with the show right now is that like, what are they trying to do? Because like, Crystal push being like, we're looking for love, and it's like, well, if you are, then why is Demi and her girlfriend still there? Because like, you know, this
they found love.
I mean, like
Yeah, they're
they're
already
just
done.
like. I mean, I don't like that they're honestly still there because like they're just like in their own bubble.
Right.
They don't
Also,
do
I didn't
anything.
like.
The thing
I
is,
didn't
like-
like how they like let Demi get the man rose. Like, so does it
I'm
mean like the
fine
other one
with-
gets the other rose?
I don't give a
I'm-
shit about that. Honestly,
I'm fine with that. I just don't like. I'm fine.
Well,
with
why
them
would they
trying to-
assume like she gets the like to go when the guys
I
go?
mean, they could
and-
have easily done Christian, but like
They-
Demi's on the show.
I think
I
they
think
just
they did it
I think
because
because
she's a
like
contestant?
Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So
think
is
because
Christian giving
like
the rose during the girls' roses?
Maybe.
who's to say? I feel like it was more like
my God,
'cause
what if
Chris
she
and
didn't give it to
Demi.
Demi?
Like, because like
That's what I'm
there's
saying.
like
That's
so
the-
many
that's what
jokes
sucks about the show.
There's so many jokes on the internet that like Demi's like the new Chris Harrison, and I think that's
Oh,
like
that's funny.
they almost like kind of played it out where he's like, I'm gonna let Debbie give the roses, like kind of deal, and like
I
I,
think
was
she's
like,
more like the new Wells.
Yeah.
Because she's giving the advice.
I think Wells and her should start a podcast.
No. Oh, a
Yes.
podcast. I thought you were going to say relationship.
Oh,
I'm very
no.
protective of Wells and Sarah Hyland.
yeah,
So-
Jesus, oh my God, me too.
Say her name.
No, I just
you
think
saw
like their
me.
impressions of people are so funny. Like
They're
their
so
podcast
funny.
would be
They're
hilarious.
so
Yes.
Loved him at the end of the episode.
Yeah, so they
I
both
love Demi at the end of last
both,
week.
Yeah, so like both nights the end
Demi
of the
did a
episode
better
credits
impressions, I
Yeah,
think. But,
yeah.
We're
but listen,
like
so
doing impressions.
going back to Kaylin, I just think like, and also with Dean, like he's just coming on the show to find
Dean.
love. Like no, he's like coming
No,
on the
he's
show
not.
to have fun.
He's
and
coming on the
meet
show to
new
have
people.
fun.
That's
He
what he
wants to
said.
get out of the van every now and
and
then.
have someone fund his van
Yeah,
and
someone-
to have a nice shower.
Yeah.
That's why he's coming back next week. I feel like they're paying him money.
They're paying him money.
Definitely.
They're like, if you shave your mustache,
I can't believe he shaved the
I
mustache.
can't either.
Thank
can't.
God.
I feel like that was like America's
He'll
Next
come
Top
back and-
Model Cycle 2 with
oh yeah, where they're like,
Danielle.
yes,
with her
with
gap.
the yes.
Yep.
Oh
She didn't
my
want to do it,
God.
but she didn't do it. She didn't compromise.
Good.
She kept her gap. Dean
love it.
shaved that mustache.
But yeah, so
Good,
I
I
just
didn't like
to
the
me,
mustache.
to me, I think, you know, what? So, what do you guys think about Dean like giving her the rose to stay on there to find love, but breaking up with her and feeling like? Do you think he should have left then, or continued?
Well, my thing is like, if
waited till the next
fact
day?
that he's gonna come back is such a bullshit. He's a fuckboy.
Yeah.
Dean is a
Yeah,
fuckboy
yes.
through and through because
I wrote that
he
down so many times.
He plays the whole like, oh, I don't deserve to be loved. I'm doing this for you.
yes.
Blah
Oh
blah
my
blah. And then
God.
he's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, I made a mistake. Take me
I
back.
really
So-
want you. I can do this.
My actual
He's
notes about
Logan.
Dean says,
He's Logan Huntsberger.
Oh my
who is
God,
Mustache and why does he have that mustache and why is he a fuckboy? Oh, now I get that he's a fuckboy. Why did he say that to boobs?
Yeah, Kaylin is boobs because it was
You call
always just
her,
out.
but like her boobs aren't even that big.
But it
Tasha's got
wasn't
boobs.
size. It
It
was
was-
like out.
Oh,
it was
because like
in the episode.
the one bathing suit she's wearing is very much so like side boob.
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
was like
push 'em in.
all boob.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I love that episode.
I
but
don't know why.
Strange.
Stranger Things, but but yeah, no. I mean, what would have been a good time for him to bow out then?
No, I mean,
the first
I don't think you should have even
conversation.
come on
I was
then.
gonna
Yeah.
say I don't think he should have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
think-
like he
In
should
the
be on
first
a
conversation.
different show. He
Yeah.
should be on an MTV show.
honestly.
All right, so going into
Night two.
Night two. That's the beginning of night two.
So night 2, and then they get the little present, and they get invited to Crystal and Chris.
All right,
Bruce's
so all right,
wedding.
before we move on, I'm sorry, but what I didn't like about that, what we've talked about, like Dean, like kind of messing with Kaylin's head, like after
Yeah.
like a
I
mean,
girl. Well,
mhm,
you guys didn't see in the last like couple episodes, a new girl would come down and
Right.
and try to go on a date with Dean, and Dean would come back, like he would be having his arm around that girl, and then kind of like playing with her head, and then coming back and being like, Kaylin, can I talk to you?
And he'd be like,
she-
just kidding, I won't go on a date with
Yeah,
her.
like she'd get all serious, like get up, like yeah, and then like thinking like he was gonna be like, I'm
and
gonna
then
go on
when
this
he finally did do that, she was like, are you serious?
Right.
Is this a joke?
That was like the messed up part.
That
like,
was,
really
I feel like, I mean, that's what makes him a fuckboy.
Right,
Right,
and I've been
totally.
seeing these memes of
Certifiably.
him like, this is why girls have trust issues.
Yes,
And it's like been 5
yes.
different memes of from this season.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's like when he was jumping in the pool, he just like let her go into the pool. Like they're supposed to jump in together, and she just like. But he jumps in right after her. But like that was like one of the memes. Like, why do girls have trust issues? Like 1,
Dean.
2,
Yeah. Dean
3.
Ungler.
Just jump the girl into the water.
Dean Unglert is why.
What were we about to say?
Jesus.
I was gonna ask about the dates.
Yes.
You're allowed to say no to the dates?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you're in a
Okay.
relationship, that's a test. That's what happened with
Or even if
JPJ.
you're not, even if you like, yeah, even if you're not, like, if you're like whatever and you're vibing with somebody else, like you could say
like
yes or
the
no.
people that are not on these 2 episodes, basically, it's like Dylan and somebody.
Dylan and Hannah are dating, so-
right? But that's what I'm saying. It's like they could like
Like if somebody came and asked
Ask-
Hannah on a date.
Hannah did go out on
Yeah,
a couple
Hannah
dates.
went on like a if you guys watch like the beginning, like
You should
couple
go
of
back.
weeks, like
can't
Hannah
go back. I
literally,
checked
Hannah gets
Hulu.
asked on like
on
50
Hulu.
fucking dates.
Not all of them.
but she says no or she goes on them.
She says no to like one of them, and like she says yes initially, and then she's like no, and then like whatever.
I mean, they're like together because you never see them in the show.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
this
like,
is the
that was
thing.
the thing that got
finally,
me.
we get to, this week is the first week that we're like, finally, Hannah's not getting any more like
really?
FaceTime.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
But like that was the thing is when I think Tajwan came down, like she didn't even get to finish asking him on the date, and he was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, he's like,
And I was like,
okay, this is gonna be
Weren't
great.
you like just with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tayshia's
So that's
prettier.
so
Taysha
then
is
we
pretty.
get to
She's
the
the
wedding,
prettiest.
so pretty.
She's so pretty.
and so they go to the wedding, Crystal and Goose's wedding, and
why do they call him Goose?
he called himself that.
Cool.
On their,
Cool.
on their,
Like how John Paul Jones insists that you call him John Paul Jones.
Yeah, similar, and he wore like a bandana.
Well, he introduced
that had a
himself as
goose
John
on it.
Jones at one point.
Yeah,
did.
I heard that,
To
and
the
I was
parents
like,
or somebody.
Yeah, it was weird.
no, that was like to the crew pretending to be parents.
Sure,
This was a
sure.
fake wedding.
Well, I wonder
Oh,
if
yeah.
it's actually John hyphen Paul,
No,
or
it's-
if it's
that's-
John. My middle name's Paul.
I think
and
his middle name's Paul.
yeah, so that's the difference. 'Cause I actually do know a guy that like his name is John Paul. Like that's his
Yeah,
first name.
Yeah, I know
You know
people
what's
like that.
funny is you know how John Hines is John Mark. I actually knew a guy in high school that was John Mark, but
like a hyphen?
hyphenated.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, wait, you can name your kid whatever. But yeah,
I mean,
so like
Tajwan,
to go back to JPJ, if he didn't go out on any of those dates, he still probably would have Taisha. But the thing about this.
Taysha.
Tasha. Okay.
I don't know, whatever.
Sorry.
I don't know. I've dealt with people jacking up my name. I had to change my name to make it simpler for people. But anyways,
White people, we suck, right?
We
Yeah.
do. We
People
can't
do
say
suck.
Timothy
Oh my God.
Chalamet.
yeah, the company they don't even put my
you
last
say it.
name on the email. It's just Sai@company.com.
At company, I love it.
At company.
You should think that. You should be proud of that. That's like dope.
I know it is.
Yeah, because
dope.
like that's like
but I had to do it for you
Madonna.
white people. You know what I'm saying?
You white
Yeah.
But anyways, and I just wanted to
Imagine
receive
that.
emails because I would never get one if they had to put my last name.
Yeah,
in.
they'd
But-
be like,
But anyways, but that's
So
the thing
typing.
on this show right now. When a person does say you should go out on other dates, whether they mean it or not, that's a bad sign on the show because it means
Yeah.
that first of all, they're either immature because if they were into this relationship, they would
Hashtag
just be
Katie.
right. And then the other situation is maybe they want to explore other people
Yeah.
too.
Sure.
So that's the two reasons, and it's never a good reason. But what do you think would have happened if JPJ didn't go out on any dates? Do you think him and Taysha would have
No.
been?
No, I think
I don't
Tasha
think
was
so because,
done.
Yeah,
I think
Derek
Taysha
was
was-
still there. I think that would have been the triangle.
I think
Yeah.
Taysha was still
Already.
like trying to make moves.
Yes.
Because she was trying to make moves before like the other girls came down.
Exactly.
And
Good for her.
truly, if you're gonna go between JPJ and Derek,
You pick Derek.
I'd probably pick Derek. I'd probably pick
pick
Aaron
Derek.
Rodgers.
Okay, so we're at the wedding.
And then JPJ.
The big thing about the wedding though was that
It was fake.
Well,
it's real.
it's real.
It's true love.
I mean, this is real weddings on side of
The big things about the wedding were that Clay was going to
yeah.
be there and his ex, Angela, was going to be a bridesmaid.
Yep.
Which, like, during the, like, actual, like, ceremony, everything was chill. He kind of kept his head down. Nicole felt safe. He had his, like, hand on hers.
Why
the
was she
entire
strutting
time.
though?
That was the
Dude,
thing.
she was
is
like,
like,
"I'm
yeah,
here."
she's like,
Well, she's a model.
That's not even a model walk.
I know.
Totally.
Yeah, that's what the
Exactly.
music
She knew what she was doing.
Exactly.
yeah.
Angela was trying to, like,
she had a revenge body.
she had, I know, okay, I hated when they kept talking about that.
I know.
No,
so
that's a
much.
real thing though.
I know it's a real thing, but also,
it
like, she was
shouldn't.
already
It's a good
skinny,
thing,
and they're like,
right?
she lost so
And that was
much.
the thing, I
weight.
She was a
really
little thicker, like good thick. Like,
I wouldn't
you know,
even think I wouldn't even
like
call
thick
her
with two
thick when I
Cs.
saw her before.
like before I was like, oh, that's a pretty thick white girl.
I
Now
wouldn't
she was
even
like
think
pretty
she was
skinny
thick
white
before.
girl.
Now
like,
she's really skinny.
right.
I wouldn't even call her thick before.
Like,
Well, that's
when I
the
say
thing.
thick,
I don't
that's
like I don't like the
It's
phrase
like
revenge body.
Yeah, like why couldn't she just have wanted to lose the weight for her own?
Well, that is what it
Self-worth.
is,
yeah.
but you don't
She
go to
started
the
working
gym
out.
until you want to be like, I can't wait till this dude sees me looking good. That's just what it is. Like,
Or in
She
this
just wanted
case,
you guys
to
wouldn't
look
know.
good
You guys
back
are
on
married,
TV.
happily married,
I was
just going
about
to
to
the
say, I
gym
got a ring
because
that says otherwise.
I'm just saying though, as like a person that's been in relationships, there's nothing better for you mentally, like to go to the gym and work out, because like otherwise you're
Yeah.
sitting here eating food and drinking your lights away.
Everybody
and all
who
that
knows
stuff.
me knows that I like work out mostly for my mental health. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Right,
because
of
otherwise I'll
course.
lose my motherfucking
Right.
mind.
But on top of that, the other benefit is that your other ex-significant other can see how great you look
Yeah.
like
I mean,
without
like,
them.
I always know that I look better than all of my exes, so like it's just like how I live my life.
Self-confidence.
Oh yeah,
Work
I haven't
it.
seen a photo of like my ex in a while because I've been married.
Hmm.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
You
good.
know, I have this like self confidence,
Yeah.
mental health.
Yeah.
Check it.
But I mean, that's a real
But
thing.
like, I know I look better than him.
Yeah,
But
And,
like,
like stupid facial hair.
but so with the whole Clay and Angela thing, Clay ends up getting to go to the actual reception. Only a select.
What the hell is that about?
How did that?
I didn't even
happen?
understand
that was such.
that.
You know, that wasn't their decision. That was the producer's
that's
decision.
why I'm saying
But-
it's not a real wedding.
Yeah,
It's a bullshit
right,
wedding.
right.
I mean,
Well,
like the producers.
Well, maybe they didn't want
decided-
all like they
couldn't have all of them there.
Right. Maybe I think this is what probably
Especially
happened.
like after then JPJ and Derek got into a
Ugh.
altercation.
Well, I don't think
That made me
They should just send
uncomfortable.
JPJ home to his nugget tray.
Amen. Amen.
How do you know you love nuggets?
I watched him eat nuggets in the second episode.
Yeah,
said,
he watched
"Do you guys
nu-
want
yeah,
to
he's
eat
like, "Do you want
nuggets?"
to
Oh,
take a
okay.
nugget?
Because it wasn't
I have
nuggets his
another
thing in the
question.
Bachelorette.
Yeah, he
I have
was
another
his thing
question.
too.
Why can't you eat the date food?
Oh,
Ooh.
So that's the thing. This is a big thing, like in Bachelor Nation thing.
You don't eat on TV.
You don't eat on TV. First of all, it fucks with the noise.
Okay,
I mean, yeah,
fair.
okay.
It fucks
fair,
with the noise,
fair.
and also on those dates, like they have the producers around helping, like
Not good conversation
drive the
'cause they're
conversation.
chewing.
You can't drive
Shit on their
conversation. You
face.
can't be eating. Like it just doesn't work. So that's why you don't eat the date. And like they're
and it
literally
ruins the scene.
they're coached by the producers to like not eat.
But JPJ was like, I'm drunk, so
Was
I'm
he
gonna
even
eat
drunk?
whatever this
Like,
is.
I feel like he's on
he
drugs or
definitely,
something.
yeah,
I feel
I mean, he was affected.
Well,
Yeah.
but then you
Something.
like see what he picked up, and then he continued.
It was
to eat it after
disgusting.
he picked up the entire.
Especially
plate
after
of
he's
food with
already
one
like
fork.
he's
I'm over JPJ
He's already
eating.
like
Yeah, right?
The dude has an
vomited.
He can't
esophagus
eat.
of a pea.
He cannot eat.
He's been like vomiting multiple times on the show, like because of like different food and stuff. So like,
Well, and I just loved her being like, if he vomits on me, we're taking
a shower together. Like, gross.
Like, girl.
I know.
You wouldn't
Yeah,
do that
get
with your
outta here.
husband?
But anyway, so
No. Clean yourself up and then maybe
you
we'll
know,
talk about it.
ew.
Take a shower, then we'll take a
Yeah,
shower.
I'm not gonna take a shower together. No, but JPJ gets all up in his head about Derek coming on to Tasha,
Yup.
and decides to confront him
That was so
at
awful.
the
He just wants to make money off
Wedding.
his podcast.
Derek.
And Derek, don't insult my intelligence, Derek. So like he goes off and
But
like
part of that was a lie.
Derek. So literally he goes off and Derek's like, "Yo, you're not even letting me talk."
Yeah, like let me
dog."
talk. He's like, that's just gonna give you time to play mind games with me,
you're
motherfucker.
no, you're steamrolling. You're having a monologue right now
Yeah,
because
no.
one-sided.
Which this is like maturity that you could see the difference between. Like
Yes.
obviously, like Derek's older, JPJ's younger. Derek's been in this in the
JPJ's a
Bachelor.
baby.
I would have
Derek's
just walked away. I'd been like, dude, like
Derek's
when you're
been
ready
in
to
the
have a
Bachelor-
conversation,
yeah,
I will
right?
talk to you. But I'm not going to even
Derek's been
stand
in the
around for
Bachelor
this.
Nation game much longer. He knows, and he's just like. Though the one thing I have to fault Derek for is Derek's like, I didn't even know JPJ was into Tasha. I'm like, they've been
Yeah,
like,
that's bullshit.
I did
Yeah.
love that Wells called him out on that.
Yeah, Wells
basically.
did
he was
call
like,
him out.
did you girls know? And like
they're
they're all
all
like,
like,
When did Wells
yes.
do that?
When they're
After
at the
very
bar.
end,
Oh.
when they got back.
They
and
got
he,
back, they also
confronted him
fought again on the
And then
beach.
JPJ walks away, and then Wells is at the bar being like, "Did y'all know about this?"
Yeah,
and
and
then
everyone's-
Derek is still there.
And Derek's like, hey, y'all ladies, did you know this? And they're all like,
Yeah,
yes.
we all know.
Well, maybe he wasn't focused on them.
Well, of course he wasn't. He was
Right.
with Demi
It's
at the
easy for us
time.
to see it,
But then, but my thing is, like, you can't act like it wasn't a thing just because, like, you were dating someone.
Well,
maybe
obviously,
you
he's
weren't
already given
focused on
roses.
it. Well, and the
Yeah,
thing is, like,
yeah.
if you're playing this, Bachelor Nation game, you are aware of who everyone is with at every single
Because
time.
you're attempting to look for love.
If it turns
Yeah.
out that Demi is bisexual and has a girlfriend that she's going to bring on the show, all of a sudden you're single and you don't have anybody giving roses to you to stay on the show.
Exactly.
Right.
So like you got to be aware.
I just wanted to say, I think what they did with the wedding and having like those people, they were like, all right, they can come to the actual ceremony, but like the party, if you want people there, we get to pick like who's there, and then it's like we don't want these people that we don't know. These are the people that we do. We'll pick the people that we actually like.
We're gonna pick the people that we do know, and then we're also gonna pick.
Cool.
We're gonna pick like a couple.
Connor, yeah. Why the hell was Connor there?
Because they were trying to set that situation up because
and that was
they
the
knew
thing.
he was
They
gonna
needed
come
some single
down.
girls for Connor, because I loved Kaylin being like, I'm just like really upset about Dean, and I don't even want to go to this fucking wedding, and I'm really fucking. Hello.
She's like, do I look okay?
Yeah, I know.
How do I look?
She's the worst.
And then like she's like even talking about being dumped, and then she's making out with him like 2 seconds
Immediately.
later. I'm like, wow,
Yo,
rebound.
is anybody else over? I mean, obviously you guys have only watched these episodes, but yo, aren't you kind of like over like the fact of like this whole Christina, Kaylin?
Okay, Christina
thing?
needs to leave. Christina needs to leave. Christina.
my God.
I'm so pissed.
But
at
why are
how
they going after the
she-
same guys?
She
Like-
manipulated.
Friendship bros.
She's the one with the
Yeah,
ass.
she
Bros.
manipulated Blake. Blake was so
Russian?
gonna give his rose to Caitlyn.
Caitlyn.
Like was like 100% the rose was going to you. And then like Christina's like, can I talk to you? And then talk to him. Then she's like, and then Blake's like, oh, I don't know.
That's what I hate about Blake
haven't
looking at the
decided.
wedding.
Idiot.
It's like, dude, you
yeah,
set
Blake
the
is
girl.
a toenail.
Yes, exactly.
That dude he was talking to was so done with him. He was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And he's like, I'm just really upset." Oh.
I just really
Like
like.
looked away.
Right.
I like whoever he was talking to was like, you should go to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like how they're like, yeah, you
They're
should
like,
go
get the
back
fuck out of here.
What was the
right?
stagecoach joke they said at dinner?
Oh my god.
I think what did he say? He was like, I guess
That guy was actually a potential bachelor.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
was he?
Yeah,
He was,
and it was funny how they
on-
didn't
He
even
was
focus
so
on him.
dumb.
Yeah, they didn't even put his
Jessica
like little
knew.
bottom thirds or anything.
He was kind of flirting with Clay's girl.
He was kind of flirting with Angela, and he was also kind of flirting with Christina at one point. And Christina also was then
Christina
into,
is like the biggest flirt on this thing.
she's a villain. She's a villain at
but
this point.
At one point, because she's a villain, she's a little bit smart because
She's
did
smart.
manipulate
She's
Blake into giving her friendship rose.
She's been on the show multiple times. She knows how to play
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
She
you can
manipulated
see
it
that.
into
The way
him.
she
can
talks
see
almost
that.
like I want to. It's like a guy would spit lines, like you know what I'm saying. Like she says like these type
Well,
of
she's
like.
just being. She's trying
she's
to
like,
be
yeah, I'll always-
condescending.
Yeah.
No, but she'll like say one-liners that are like what guys would say to a girl. Or
Well,
something.
but she's like taking advantage of everyone's
Yeah, she's just being
weakness.
manipulative.
Yeah, 100%. I felt that totally.
So I just
I don't
think
like her.
She and like and then she got a little pissy because Connor took Kaylin on the date when he came on,
Which is
instead
the
of her.
point.
Yeah.
And then she
But
got
she's like, why are you gonna get my sloppy seconds? It's like literally.
technically
you're
he's
supposed
not
to
your.
date around.
Also,
Yeah,
like
that's kind of the
technically,
point of
like
this.
Yeah.
he's not your seconds because like
Right?
you weren't
the first.
with him.
Yeah.
But okay. But at least Kaylin got some goodness
She got
out
some
of that.
action.
She got some action. She got
yeah.
some. Which the paint date, because you guys really haven't watched before, they've done the paint date before.
Oh, okay.
This
Well,
isn't new.
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me that the paint date's a thing.
I mean, that's an easy way to escalate a situation.
That's a really easy.
They're like,
thing to be
okay, we're
like,
gonna
have
make
to
you be
physically
half
touch
naked.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also have to be horizontal to be on the
Right.
You know,
On
Like
the-
yesterday,
on
I
the
was
whatever.
crying about Dean on the beach, and now I'm like with
Hey,
Clay making
look,
out in pink.
You know what? I kind of support Kaylin.
I
this
kind of
point.
support Kaylin. I feel like she's been fucked over a lot.
Well, she's all right. So this is my thing. Going into like we pretty much wrapped up this week.
Yeah.
Right? Going into next week, you see that Dean's gonna be coming back, shaving his mustache.
Yep.
So when Clay,
but he still lives in a van.
Connor, when, yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's
when
still got the
Connor
van.
came down, and it almost seemed like he was gonna pick like Christina.
I almost thought he was.
Right.
I thought he was too.
I was like, as a viewer yesterday, before seeing like what happens next week, I was like, Connor, you'd be an idiot to just go for like Christina after like picking Kaylin. But this is the genius of the production of the show. Is
Genius?
that
That's
well,
a
I'm just
stretch.
saying they're bringing back
Be
Dean.
honest, you're gonna keep watching.
Well, listen,
Probably.
they bring him back Dean, which means Kaylin will probably go back to Dean.
Yes.
Who's
which
to say?
leaves
I don't
Connor.
know.
He should have picked Christina then.
But I don't. But I don't know.
Not
if,
should
like,
have,
I don't know
because
if
no
should
one
have.
would have known
Well,
that
because
he
you
was
always
coming
look like
back.
a chump afterwards. Then being like, I would have given Christina a chance, and
But
now
like the optics
you're
of
second
it,
best.
The optics of it make it look like a chump, but honestly and truly, if you were in that situation, you would have taken advantage of whatever's right in front of you, not been
Also,
like,
what you
what
think
if
is a
Dean
better?
comes back?
What do you think is a better connection? Because like,
Yeah.
he talked to both of them at the wedding, and if he had a better connection with Kaylin,
Yeah,
he
but
went
that
with
just
Kaylin.
it's also I agree, but then there's also the fact of like she might not be a good person, like you know what I'm saying, as far as like for that
Neither is,
relationship.
I mean, Christina
Christina's
is not a good person.
no, but I mean,
What's up?
well, she's looking for love too. She just hasn't found it.
No, she's looking to manipulate as
She's
many
trying
people.
to manipulate the situation. She's trying to just stay around.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
trying to get her airtime.
She
say
got
she
a
wants her Twitter
friendship rose.
and she bullied him into giving.
No, I think she's looking for love, just like.
I don't think so.
Listen,
No,
listen.
I think she wants her own Bachelorette season.
Let me.
Oh,
She's not gonna get it.
yeah.
But like, she's looking for
definitely
love,
does.
just like Kaylin's looking for love. They're just picking the wrong guys.
No. But here's the difference, though.
And they
is-
keep getting fucked over, and they just are going for the popular guys. That's
but
all.
here-
That's a
but
problem.
No. Here's the thing, because
No,
I
because
think
then they both be going
Kaylin
for JPJ.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not.
right,
He's
they-
not the popular guy.
But
There's
they
different
go
tiers.
for the easy guy. Kaylin is actively going towards guys that she's having a connection with, or that she thinks is like a good guy for her, whereas Christina
they're
is
really
just
tall.
trying to mess up whatever relationship or whatever connection already exists. She's not going out and finding a dude that doesn't have a connection with someone.
I
She's
feel like-
going after dudes that already have a connection
Which is
with
like
someone
so
else.
her, because like she fell in love with Dean last season and then like kept with him even though he was fucking around with her with some other girl.
I think Kaylin and Christina are very similar. And
I disagree
listen.
wholeheartedly.
They're very similar because they're going after the same type of guys.
Is that just
and-
because they look alike?
No, they don't look alike at all. And also,
I
like,
disagree.
also the fact
They all
that
look alike.
They do. They
But
do.
you white, you Ben Affleck. No, you. But the thing is, the difference between them is that Christina has seniority, so she's
But she has manipulative power. She's
right,
more
just
on
like
a
Dean
power
does.
trip.
Just like Dean
She's
does.
on a power trip where
So
Kaylin
like
is
Dean,
more of a victim.
Blake is like
Yeah.
what Dean, like Blake is what like Kaylin is to what Dean is, what Christina is. You know what I'm saying? And they're just swapping each other.
But that
so it's,
doesn't make them two. That doesn't make Christina and Kaylin similar. That makes Christina and Dean similar.
Yeah.
I'm saying they're similar in the sense that they're going after the same type of guys. Like they're just
That's
going
it,
after
but
the
that's
popular
it. They're
guys.
going-
But that doesn't make
But that
them
doesn't
similar.
make. But that doesn't make why they're going after those guys the same.
Yeah.
Because like they're going
They have
after.
similar.
They have similar taste,
yeah.
but that doesn't. But like Christina has been like how Christina has been going about her whole relationships and everything is way different than how Kaylin.
I
has been.
agree.
No, she's just been there first, and now Kaylin's like after
that-
they break up
so
with
that's
Christina,
that's
they're gonna
how-
go with Kaylin.
but,
That
like,
doesn't
that's-
give Christina
no.
the right to get what she wants more than Kaylin.
Yeah, no, I think Christina.
not at all.
Christina's
Yeah.
manipulating situations where Kaylin manipulated a little bit with the situation with Blake and how that situation came out on TV. I will agree with that, but how Christina manipulates each situation with people, how we're seeing it, is way different than how Kaylin.
Kaylin hasn't had the chance to manipulate situation.
Which makes them
Kaylin
different. Which
Yeah.
makes them
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, but give Kaylin 2 years, and she'll probably be acting the same way to
Well,
the
if
newbie
she's in-
girl.
Okay,
Maybe,
so-
maybe not.
yeah.
Maybe she'll be living in a van down by the river with Dean.
Or maybe she'll be
God,
like
I
in a
hope
happy
not.
relationship and she wouldn't be wasting her time.
gonna be with Tall Boy
just
Connor.
getting like I feel
Yeah,
like
Tall Boy
Christina.
Connor.
I'm just
has-
gonna write this down so when I can be like, I told you so in
I'll
2
put it
years
on my
when she's
questionable
back.
aerial predictions.
No, we have
sheet.
future Bachelor
that
predictions.
is a man thing to do.
we know we have a
Because-
thing called future Bachelor predictions where we write down things and be like whatever.
Okay.
It's a segment on our show. I swear to God.
Anyway.
But yeah, I am a man and I did it, so I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
But yeah, no, I swear though, like that's the way I see it. To me, it's there's similarities in these contestants, but being on the show, like being in the Bachelor Nation world longer, has a different like appeal
Yeah, well,
to
sure.
like so someone
Yeah.
like we're saying. Kaylin has like a crush on Dean because Dean is been on Bachelor for like 2 years
Well,
now.
and also she thinks he's cute.
And
Yeah, of
likes
course, just like
him.
Christina does, like you know what I'm saying. But I think it's a little different. Like Christina has like seniority, like power over people, and like
Yeah,
Dean
that's
does.
power. So like they're doing things differently. So that's different.
Yeah, one's for power, one's not for power.
Well, also I would say the same thing with Blake and Dean. The
I
same
mean,
thing. They did the
Blake-
same
but
thing. It's just
Blake-
seniority.
I mean, Blake is just no. Blake's more of an idiot than Dean is. Dean.
Dean was an idiot last time he
mean,
was on the show.
exactly.
Veronica, you're making my point.
I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is like Blake is more of an idiot where he doesn't like he thought he could have all of his cake and eat it
So
too.
did Dean when he was
And
doing it the first time.
But Dean was more like I want to go with whoever's the hottest. So it's a little bit different. It's like
No, Dean, like Blake hooked up with all these girls before the show. Dean
Yeah.
hooked up with the girls
But what
on
I'm
the show.
saying, so like it's I guess you're just still saying differences.
This is so funny.
Like it's just still differences.
this is so funny.
Whatever.
I mean, I know
That's my
nothing
opinion.
about the background of the show, but I just feel like all of these characters have wildly different motives. Like
Yeah.
even though they all say they want love,
Yeah,
the
I
intent
agree.
behind it
and
is-
how they go about it
varies.
is way different.
It's-
and maybe like
It's
the-
only different because the show evolves. Because the
Well,
more
sure.
people that
But,
get
like,
on it,
I
it's,
don't-
but
because
they're the
the
same
people
thing.
that-
Because people evolve.
What Blake did this season
People-
seems
each
the same
person
thing
is
what Dean did that when
different.
he was on his season. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think so.
I think
How not?
Because Dean went with one girl forever, and then the next hot thing came down, and that's who he wanted. Blake hooked up with 5 different people and made moves towards one girl, and then realized that it wasn't gonna work. It's like a whole different. It's still different.
It's not that different. And Dean hooked up with girls before Bachelor in Paradise too. What are you talking about?
But it's just still different. It's just different.
It's not different.
They go about it in different ways.
It's exactly the same thing. When I'm watching
I don't
Blake,
think you could say it's exactly.
when
the
I'm
same.
watching Blake do what he does on the beach, it's exactly what I saw Dean do when I saw him on the beach.
How so?
Because like all he was doing is it's maybe not the exact like
So
formula
it's
of
not
it,
the exact same.
but
That's all I'm saying is
all
not
they're trying
the
to do is
exact
the next hot thing. That's what it is. That's the similarity. You said
Well-
it yourself that they're trying to get the next hot thing, so that when.
But this time, Dean's going about it different. My thing is, like, you can't say Christina and Kaylin are the same. I don't know why you're even bringing in Blake and Dean, because that's not what we're talking about.
Because that's what I'm trying to tell you. They're similar.
But that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is Kaylin and Christina. No, you were talking about Kaylin and Christina. Kaylin and Christina are not the same, because Christina has not even made any moves on any dude except for Blake, just to, like, first of all, shame Blake.
To convince him to
and
get
then
the rose.
to keep
Do you remember
Blake
Christina on the first season?
Yeah, but we're not talking about the first season. We're talking about this season. We're talking about Kaylin and Christina.
And I'm talking
right now.
about that they're similar in that sense. I'm not talking about this season. I'm talking about the.
That's not what you were talking about, though.
I know what I'm talking about because I'm talking about it. Listen, Christina was the same way Kaylin was on this season, on her first season.
Okay, that's not what you said at first.
Give Kaylin 2 more seasons. She's going to be
But
Christina.
she's not going to be on 2 more seasons. We don't know that.
Yeah,
And that's why I said I'll write it down as a
prediction.
prediction when she is on it from 2 seasons from now, and she's the villain.
But you're comparing
I have a
Kaylin and
question.
Christina in this season.
I have a question.
I wasn't.
Could Kaylin be a bachelorette?
No.
Why?
Because she has too much
Because
sex.
she was already she was already
It
potentially
is.
up for the running when Hannah became the Bachelorette this past season, and
Is
she
that
didn't
the
get
Hannah
it.
that's going to be on Dancing with the
Yes.
Stars? Okay, cool.
Like you can have
I'm
sex
caught up.
on the show if once you're the Bachelorette, but like if you're like having all that sex before, like and there's
They
like
don't. Yeah, they
Are you
don't,
talking about the
ABC doesn't want
stagecoach part, or
That
just
or-
on the show?
on the.
yeah, I mean the
Any
text
of it?
message exchanges and all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like
Well,
I
Drama.
feel like the guys get away with it more because Nick got away with it and Nick became the Bachelor.
Well, that's because men.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that you get to come back on the show and have a redemption. Like they tried to have redemption. So this is Dean's redemption season.
Yeah.
So that's why Dean is different from Blake this season, but he was the same as Blake when he first came on.
Yeah.
If you give Blake a redemption season, he's gonna look better and
Well,
everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Blake's great
Blake
now."
thought that this season was his redemption season.
Who?
Blake thought that this was going to be his redemption.
For what?
From like losing love, not finding love, whatever on Becca's season. He thought this was going to be his redemption, and then it ended up not being that.
I just
No.
want to point out that Blake's Instagram handle is
Balake.
Yeah, that's his like nickname, and then they all call
Is
him
that
that.
really?
Phonetics.
Well, that's Balake is like, what is that, like from the Key and Peele skit where they're like making fun of
Yeah.
everyone's
Oh,
like
I don't know
AA
that.
run.
AA run, Balake.
I just thought it was dumb.
I just like that John Paul Jones is John Paul Jones.
John Paul Jones. Yeah.
JPJ. No, but I do think like, you know, that's what I'm trying to say is that they are similar in the scope of the show. Maybe not this season they seem
Okay.
similar, but there are
That's
definitely
fair.
similarities in the fact that they're going for the same type of guys. Like
In this season,
They're going for the
are
same type
going
of
for the
guys.
same- yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
I
like-
would agree
So
with
not
that.
in all seasons though.
I mean, Kaylin wasn't even in the franchise like when
Exactly.
Christina was there. But like the way Christina was crying, she wasn't the villain in her first season of Bachelor in Paradise.
Well, of
she was
course
like
not.
the poor
She was-
girl, like
she was a victim,
looking
'cause
for love and blah blah blah.
Dean's still the villain in both seasons. Dean is
Dean,
fucked up
man.
both times. Come
Dean
on,
just
Dean
became-
hasn't changed.
Dean just became that though. Like in this past episode, like it didn't seem. And
Oh, no, I mean, like Dean. I was always wary of Dean because I loved
course.
Dean on his season of The Bachelorette. Loved Dean.
Okay.
And then he went on to Bachelor in
Interesting.
Paradise.
Did he have a mustache?
No.
Okay.
Oh no. And then he had short hair too. And he went on to.
But his dad is pretty like eccentric and
Yeah,
stuff. So
and
you
then
could see Dean
yeah.
going down a path of wanting to do things differently and stuff.
And so then he went on Bachelor in Paradise, and then he turned into a fuckboy. Or maybe it was a fuckboy all along, and then it just really got brought out. But
Right.
relative to me.
I try to see the show outside of just like the show. Like all right, so he's these guys or everybody on the show gets a little bit of fame and they go into these different tiers of how famous you are. Do you get to hang out with like all of like the really popular ones from the show. Maybe you're like kind of like sometimes in the circle and stuff like that. But Dean, you know, when he went on a show, like, and still to this day, like girls will just like drop dead for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? They love Dean.
I mean, that's like Derek, like what JPJ is accusing Derek of.
Derek is not like that though.
But
Like,
that's what he's accusing him of.
right.
Well, and that's the thing is like, I get the feeling that there is a personality type for the show.
Yeah,
And, like,
definitely.
at some point you will become that thing.
Yep.
Or you will have it projected on you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just think it's like this year has been like a year where I've started realizing like I don't think I'd
Realizing
want to go.
stuff.
Well, no, I
You're
don't think I'd
realizing
want to
stuff.
go
Kylie
onto that
Jenner,
show.
2016.
Like, are you talking just Bachelor in Paradise or just Bachelorette in general?
The franchise is just kind of like the psychological stuff, like so, like
Yeah, no, you
the
should
social
listen
media stuff. Like I
Yeah.
went after the show and I went to like Christina's like Instagram. She's like disabled her comments on her like pictures,
Oh,
which
really?
means that people are just like really
Trashing
laying
her.
into her,
Yeah.
because like she is the villain this season. Everyone,
Right.
But what I've also realized is that people will forget really fast too.
That's
like
true.
like in a
Yeah,
year from now,
absolutely.
Yeah.
like that's what I'm saying is that like when Dean came back on, he's like all fun loving and blah blah blah, but like he was really hated when he was on there 2 years ago on Bachelor in Paradise. So you can really like these arcs can change. So Christina was like a like, you know, sad and
it's
stuff.
just like the show is like so they play so many games. You should really listen to This American Life's episode from like a week ago
with Colton.
Oh, I heard
with
about
Colton,
Yeah.
and like he talks
Oh.
all
Bad
about
kisser?
The
that.
bad kisser, yes.
Yeah.
Well, he saw it's like talking about how he was playing the producers of the
He
game.
thought he was, but he got played.
Yeah, well,
Oh, no.
He got played.
That
you
sounds
can't
about
play
right.
like against.
That's the thing. It's like they
Yeah.
created
You can't
the
play a
game.
player.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, like yeah. So yeah.
I don't know. I just to me it's just like as the show goes on, it gets compounded, especially with like the social media stuff. And I don't know what it's like to be like a public figure or whatever they were like saying. Like I don't even want to say famous.
You're practically a public figure with some of the stuff you do.
I mean, like
Yeah.
a famous public figure and stuff, like one that like where people are just like having conversations with other people on your post and like defending
yeah.
you and
Yeah.
criticizing you and like what that could do to a person's brain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if you were smart, you'd be like, that's just stupid people that have no
Yeah,
lives.
you just
that
like stop reading the comments.
Right, you don't read the
Right.
comments.
But you get so many.
But they're not like famous. So they're
Yeah.
like they're famous enough where they will read the comments
Well,
and
the
they start
thing
feeding
is, like,
into it.
yeah,
and
they
stuff.
want to be famous.
Right.
yeah,
They're
they're like they're
gonna read
trying.
them.
They're working that.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing. Christina knows how to play the game.
Yeah, she definitely does.
Kaylin doesn't know how to play the game.
I would disagree. I don't think like Christina really knows how to play the game either. She just like I think she's just I mean, like what game?
Like
is
she
playing?
It's like
convinced
a-
Blake to give her a friendship rose.
yeah, no, she knows how to play the game to stay on the
Because
show.
to stay on.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to get Blake, but to stay on the show.
She knows how the game is stay on the show.
No, I think Blake and her are playing a game with the show, being like, you know, trying to find like wait around until like a hotter person comes around.
I just don't know that Blake's that smart.
No,
He's not.
think he
But he's just a
is.
hot commodity. Like, you know what
Which
Demi
I don't
said to
get.
Christina? Like, he's like, dude, you're not even in the league of all these people. Like, okay. Like, I know it like built Christina up. Like, Christina was like, oh, thank you, girl. Like, when Demi said that and
Yeah.
stuff. But it's like, who says that to people? Like, you're actually on this. So are you saying that you're not in the realm of that? Or like,
I don't know. I would, but then again, if I were in that situation, maybe I wouldn't. Like if it's a competition, all bets are off. But if it's just me like talking to you, be like, girl, you're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, thank you. And then that would be like authentic. But if I were in like a competition, I'd never say it because I don't want you to feel more confident than me if I'm trying to compete.
I mean, that's
with
why
you.
this like the basis of like to wrap it up, the basis of the show is fucked up. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like it's not really conducive to anybody feeling really good about themselves in any sort of way, truly. Like people do find love on it and like to
Bachelor in
get married
Paradise, like their
and
thing
do
is like to
whatever.
pull the rug out from underneath you.
Yeah.
They build you up really high, make you feel amazing, and then pull the rug. That's that's why I like the show. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
The
just
whole
get to
thing-
see people fall so hard.
Yeah, that was the whole thing of like everything that we've seen, which is literally just this week.
Yeah.
Made it look like, you know, Clay was in this really, you know, confident.
Yeah, he was like the number one couple.
Yeah, he's in a couple, and then like the
And they-
second
and then
you bring
they-
Angela into the picture,
rug.
and then you send his
Yeah.
girlfriend away for the night, and then like make the two of them talk, and then all of a sudden Angela's on the show.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem, though. I think, like, before the show, they ask everybody, like, give me 3 people you'd want to see on the show. And so they already have the ammunition to, like, and then they rank them. They know, like, who's the hotter one out of all that. So they'll give you, like number 1 won't come in. They'll give you maybe, like, 2. Or they throw out 3 first, then give out 2, then hold out 1 to really, like, pull that
Fuck
rug
you up right
when you
at
think
the
you're
end.
falling in
And
love.
that makes sense, like, because you hear, I think, Kaylin and Christina say, I've wanted you to come on the show. Talking
they
to
were saying,
Connor.
Like, I've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
Like, you were the one I was looking for.
Exactly. So it's like that would make sense that they would rank them.
Of course,
and be like,
that's why
ask them.
it came in. But
Yeah.
that's the genius of the show, and that's why I like it, is because, like, the factors and the variables, and, like, maybe it's the editing, but, like, how can you plan the timing of how can you plan
They have so many-
Dean
it's
leaving
such a-
and then being able to have
Well,
the wedding the next day
It's
and then
such a
have Connor show
large-
up?
It's such a large show. Like, they have so many people doing so many things. Like,
I would just love to
they're-
be in the war room of The
I would
Bachelor. Like, you
too.
know,
I
seeing,
would
like, all
too.
the, like, the pin boards and the strings
Well, to
going
your
from, like, it's
point-
like an investigation or
Conspiracy
something.
theory.
Right. They're like, what happens if it goes down this path? Like, oh, man, it forks off. And they're like, what if it goes down? Like, you know, so
Yeah.
that's what I think it is in the war room of, I actually
mean,
want to work
to
for
your
it.
point though, like how you're like, how do they time
work for it
this?
instead of be on it.
Right.
Like, how do they do this and, like, time it? Like, some things you just can't plan. I mean, literally, Tasha was like, if Angela's on the show, or, like, if Angela gets here, I don't see how Clay stays with Nicole.
But
like,
they knew
how
that.
do you
They
time?
knew. They knew.
Well, but what I'm saying is, like, that's a good soundbite that you can only get so many times with
Right.
it sounding like it fits.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But that's the genius. Like, that's what I've been saying, though. I want
I think I'm locked in.
I think over being on the show, I would love to be, like, working on the show. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think
see
that's what I want to be doing. So, or just making shows in general. But, like, yeah, it's
TV,
like,
call us.
Yeah, be on our podcast.
yeah, it's like we said on that one episode with C Money. Like, they should have. Was it C Money we were talking?
Yeah,
Like, where
I
they
think
should have,
so.
like, college courses on, like, you know, like the mindset of people put into these scenarios.
They do.
Where they look at how me and her get about the show.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you know what
know.
I'm saying? No, you don't. Don't be.
I just forget
Listen.
about how you argue because you just don't always have good
No,
logic.
it was crazy. We were just, like, literally, like, I wish I had popcorn.
I know.
Like,
No, I'm just saying though, like that's the whole point of the
this.
show though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she could completely think one way and I could completely think one way, and it's just like, that's the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Her vision of it is not like, I'm like, that's not what it is. And she can look at me and be like, you don't have whatever. But it's like, to respect both, like, opinions of it. It's like, that's what it's all about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your perspective of it is going to be different than mine. And that's what we need to do more of, is, like, agreeing to disagree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And this show, like, people are going to be listening to it and hearing, like, us, like fight and stuff. And it's just going to be like,
It's
haha, we
fine.
got you.
Yeah.
Every time.
Got you. And there's going to be an episode 76, bitches. So,
You can't get rid of us that easy.
right. But yeah, I don't even think we announced, like, this is episode 75.
75.
So this is our longest podcast
I
we
know.
ever
I'm
had.
like anxious.
You're welcome.
I'm really
I had
anxious.
2 people last week tell us that, like, that last week's episode was their favorite episode. They say that, like,
Oh,
every week.
nice.
But they were like, I could have listened to another hour of that. So, like, as much as
Nice.
she's worrying about
You're
it, I'm not.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get anxious.
enjoying you guys having these
You guys are going to
conversations.
get an extra hour out of me and then another hour out of Caitlin.
Yo, these are our batteries right here. These Trulies and White Claws. So next week is going to be like what I thought it was, like, when I saw the previews for next week of Bachelor in Paradise. It's like Avengers Endgame.
So
Like, they're
excited.
bringing in all of the
so
superheroes.
excited.
It's like,
But also, who's gonna leave that we don't expect? I think it's Christian.
Predictions?
I think it's Christian.
yeah, I mean, you were right. I don't think Christian is meant for
I don't
this
think
show.
she's cut
Exactly.
out for it. She doesn't.
Can I get another White Claw, by the way?
Yeah,
Please?
I can't. I'm like,
The black cherry.
he loves a black cherry.
Picked up the ruby grapefruit. So.
I
So,
love
fuck
it's
it.
my favorite.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like Christian's not of that world. She's not made for it. I don't know. I can't really predict anymore. Like,
Right,
I
I can't either.
I
That's why I
mean-
like the show. It's because, like, as much as I like every
because
time
I can
predict it's
Bachelor
wrong.
and Bachelorette pretty well. It's pretty easy to see those signs.
I would never
It's-
expected Dean to come back.
It's harder to see the signs.
He was gone.
Bachelor in
He didn't even say
Paradise.
bye to people. He was just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
And I
they're
thought-
just like, bye, Dean.
I know. I heard that. I was like,
Bye,
buddy.
Dean.
Well, that just shows you that he didn't even want to face people after doing that. to
Yeah.
Caitlyn
Because
and
he
stuff.
was.
Well, 'cause they knew
It was on
they
her
were all-
birthday.
Well, they're all saying they're like
They're
"You
like
didn't break
on
up
his
with her
fucking
birthday?"
bird. Yeah, come
Yeah.
on. All right, let's get into our slapper.
Our slapper of the week this week. is another one by our
We love 5 Sauce.
5 Seconds of Summer. I love. When
I
you say
love
that.
5 Sauce. That's what the kids say.
5
I haven't
SOS.
heard any kids say that.
I'm not around kids.
I'm not around kids, so it's
5
fine.
Sauce. I mean, that's what people on the radio say.
okay.
5
I also
Sauce.
don't listen to the radio.
I don't either. I'm a
Yo,
podcast girl.
I listen to the radio in the morning, guys. I work in
She
radio.
has to say that.
the company.
But yeah. Anyways, so 5 Seconds of Summer dropped a new song. It's called Teeth, and
So
the
good.
concept is actually like the beat is good, but like
Beat is good.
Like they're talking about like your heart having teeth.
Oh.
Like, and the song's called Teeth. Isn't that kind of cool?
But like, there's a movie
I
called
was
Teeth.
just thinking. It made me think of the movie.
Is that like a dirty movie or something like
It's
that?
about
it's
a
a
vag
horror
that
movie.
has teeth.
Oh, what is it? Vagina dentata.
yeah.
Yeah.
Vagina that
That's
has teeth.
like a lot of
Yeah.
animals actually have that to like protect them or like whatever.
Yeah, because like,
I never saw that on Animal Planet.
it's a thing.
You
It's a
and
thing.
me, baby. But you know that song?
I don't know.
It
I
goes, you
Yes.
and me,
Yes, I
baby,
know that
ain't
song.
nothing but
It is
mammals.
not the same as
Oh,
teeth.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm like, I've never seen that on Animal.
what?
All right, it's a song that's like, you and me,
Okay.
baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they
Okay.
do on the Discovery
The
Channel.
channel.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Now I
yes,
do.
yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
before your time, I guess.
Okay.
You had to be there. Teeth by 5 Seconds of Summer. Without further ado, let's just hop into it.
Alright.
Oh, that's the other song.
Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
Yeah, guys,
yeah.
Slapper of the Week. Teeth by 5 Seconds of Summer,
They're
aka
so-
5 Sauce.
They're so good and they're so young.
And you guys will be happy to know what. You guys will be happy to know that me and V kissed and made up during
Like
that
not
song.
on the lips, guys.
No.
But like other places.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
leave that to your little pod imagination.
Too many people think we're dating already. We
Really?
need to, like-
Really?
I never get that.
I get that a lot from people.
Really?
Never thought
Not
that.
not as much anymore.
I feel like when we go out, like people might
not
think
as
that.
much anymore, but like definitely. But, like,
What do they say when like you're with your boyfriend? Though?
I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's
that
an
is-
open relationship.
yeah, okay. Yeah, we've talked about that.
We
so.
thought, yeah, no. But,
But yeah, so do you have any shout outs, V, this week?
yes, I wanted to shout out my moving crew that did not include Sai.
No.
What if it included us?
I'm gonna give you an air horn for.
So I wanted to shout out my moving crew. It was my boyfriend Chuck, my friend Ross, my friend David, and then my friend Morgan came at the end and helped unload some stuff and also helped me get my chicken nuggets. And then I wanted to shout out one of my friends was in a really tough situation. She needed to find a safe place to stay for the week, and I had a lot of really generous friends help donate to GoFundMe for her. And one of them was my friend Knip, my friend Maggie, and then Sai also made a very generous donation that really helped her out a
Yeah.
lot.
Shout out
So-
to that, man.
So I really appreciate them.
Yeah,
for
snaps for that.
When it comes to those things, like it's just like, you know, so many people will do that. I think you get one of those, like, in like you really like it's really hard to keep doing like crowdfunding and stuff for yourself, like. But this story, like, I mean, your friend like dog was like getting like kicked in the face or something like
Yeah,
that, and like
yeah.
her boyfriend was like abusive. It's just like she just needs a week like of Airbnbs to just like figure out her situation, get to her paycheck and stuff. And you know, I wish I donated more to things and all that, but I'm more of like a pay it forward donator where it's like, you know, when I just feel it, like, you know, like I just want to help you, like, you know what I'm saying. And this was kind of like, I don't even know who your friend is actually and stuff
Yeah,
like that,
you've never met her.
but V has such a big heart that she is selfless about that type of stuff. Like nowadays, it's hard for anybody to share anything that has nothing to do with them. And you know, she, you know, I'm gonna give you a shout out for that.
I wanted to just keep her at my place for the week, but I couldn't.
And then
I
like
have
when
no-
I saw her
have no
post that, I
rent
was like,
right
Yeah.
dude, I wish I had like a place like, but like I can barely fit Higgins around here, this wolf statue. So it's a studio apartment, and they don't allow animals here. But with that being said, I was like, you know, what is like being able to pay 3 nights of an Airbnb to help somebody?
Right.
So you
Yeah.
know, that's all it is, man. Like, you know, help other people helping people. That's cool.
That's awesome.
My shout outs this week, I actually, well, let the ladies go first, I guess. Would you guys have any shout outs? Do you
Oh,
guys think of any?
gosh. Now we're on the spot.
Yeah.
In the order.
Thank you for that.
And I'm only making up for it because I went first with the weekend things.
Yeah,
to
you're
do.
like, so about
Ladies
my
first.
weekend.
What did everyone do? Well, I went
I don't know that I have any shout outs. I mean,
You could like shout out your husband.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I mean, he's always the best.
Okay,
so.
shout out. What up?
Nate Dog, what's up?
Nate the Kevin.
Nate the Kevin, showing up, putting in effort every day. The best.
Yeah.
He's never gonna watch this.
Yeah, it's all good. Maybe I'll get him to watch.
So
it.
he
I'll send it.
doesn't put in effort every time.
Yeah, only when it comes to these podcasts, he's like, I don't have 2 hours.
Well, I think I like to shout him out too for like letting us come over there to record the
Oh,
other
he
day.
was rock climbing the whole time.
Yeah, still.
I know he literally like saw us all
He knows
come in
how to
and
make
he's
himself
like,
scarce
Right.
for podcasting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he probably
he really
loves it.
does.
He's like, yeah, are you guys?
But
do
he
your thing?
always comes up. Like, that's the thing is he's always like, all right, y'all have fun. And then, like, at the
That's
end
so
of it.
cute. I know. I was
Yeah,
like,
he
it was
comes up and
nice. I was like,
he's
it
like,
was
"How's
nice to meet
podcasting?"
you.
Yeah, but like at the end of every time we record, he always comes up. He's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, how you guys doing?" He's
He
always like
lurks in the
checking
shadows
in.
and then just appears.
a
yeah.
lurker.
He's like, "You guys need anything?" He's always one of the people that says like, "You guys need anything?"
Yeah, that's
He
awesome.
checks in. He
Hey,
checks in.
I would marry him.
I would too.
So, Ariel, you have a shout out?
Do I have a shout out? I'm gonna shout
Catan?
out you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's so selfless.
No, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really glad you guys had us on. And, like,
Next time we'll bring the popcorn for you guys.
I know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, honestly, I had to do nothing. I got to show up and just sit here. And
That's
you
how we
were
felt
like,
on yours.
Would you like
Yeah.
to?
But you guys had to watch. You had to watch TV that like you wouldn't normally watch.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you also gave me a new show.
Oh,
So
we
really,
got her.
you're
And we
like
did
it.
bring all of our equipment there.
Yeah, you did a lot more. You were like, I'm here. Let me set up and record myself.
Yeah,
That's true.
That might be like a.
I'll mix it.
Yeah, I would have, but yeah, that's just my thing. I'm like a perfectionist. I always have to be like super hands-on.
That's the
on
one thing
things.
that he's a control freak about. is,
Yeah, like, she'll be
the
like, "Can I help you?" Like-
yeah, the setup and takedown of this, he doesn't let me. I sit
That's
here and I
fine.
type.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm like I like my stuff. Not saying like she would. But I just like my stuff and knowing where it went. And
I'm
I
not
hate
saying
when
that, but I am
It's not
saying
a
that.
trust thing. It's just more like you want it done a certain way.
Right,
and you
right. I
only-
want this wrapped up.
Yeah.
It's all goes into
No, I
here.
get that.
You know, and she sees me. If I'm like missing a wire or something's broken or something like that, it like really sets me off. I don't know why.
Yeah, like he'll literally like swearing up a storm. He's like, motherfucking, and I'm like,
I
it's
get
just
it,
wrap
though.
it a different way. It'll be okay.
Fudge.
Except it wasn't fudge.
Yeah. Any other shout outs?
I guess I will also shout out my husband.
Yeah, because that would look bad, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can't
What's
not
his
know.
name?
Sorry.
John.
John, I haven't met John yet. But
What a name.
John the Kevin.
He would never.
It's not a Kevin.
Boy, I saw you guys were like kind of potting about your D&D or something,
that's
or what
Oh
was that?
yeah, we did. So we
All my friends do D&D.
Yeah, we want to do like a solo adventure.
Not her friends.
love it.
Yeah, we love it. It's so fun.
Yeah,
But
so
we
you
wanna
guys
do,
were
like-
starting up in one of those situations where like you introduce friends and you all like start playing D&D
Yeah, no,
together.
but my friends do like cross country campaigns because like they all live
nice.
across the country.
Wow.
That's a lot of work.
We listen to some people talk about a podcast that they do, and they're like all the way from California and then like across the U.S. and then somebody else is in London, and they manage to still meet up and podcast and like play D&D together.
One of my
And I
one
was
of my
like,
favorite podcasts is of two women. One lives in LA and one lives in New York, and they podcast together. They figured out which we.
It's
figured
just
out.
stressful.
we can barely
but-
do it 5 miles apart.
I know, right?
I mean, that's what I was saying. We talked about it on your show, that it's really hard to do this stuff like each week, like, you know what I'm saying? So
It's a
like,
commitment for sure.
right. And,
Yeah, and we're fucking committed. Go all of us. Shout out to all of
Yo,
us here.
shout to us.
Give us a shout out to all podcasters out there.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Podcasters, come on the show.
Yeah. Podcasters.
Every single one. Not in size apartment. We can't fit you.
Yeah,
all.
but my
One
house
by
might
one
fit.
for the next like 12 years.
Well, I wanted to shout out some very special ladies, and they are the girls of the Back To podcast. Yeah.
And Mary.
And
Mary. I wanted to shout out
Special
Caitlin,
shout out
Ariel,
for
and
Mary.
Mary. Mary is obviously a fan favorite here at the Future Bachelor. And
Obviously.
Everywhere.
Fuck you guys.
Mary's a fan favorite everywhere.
everyone loves Mary.
Everyone loves
It's
Mary.
Wow. So there's just something about her. I love myself sometimes. But listen, so yeah, guys, I really appreciate it. It's been like really fun to be able to do this crossover stuff with you guys. Like, it's kind of lonely starting a podcast, and it takes
Even
a lot.
with a co-host.
No, I mean in the podcast
like right
in the
here.
podcast community. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay. I was like-
We haven't really put ourselves out there yet, and it's just kind of weird. Like everyone thinks like they could start a podcast or they want to do a podcast, but like think about it. Like who else really does podcasts? Like we know a lot of different people,
Yeah.
and like who else is really doing one? And the fact that we get
Us.
to us, everyone in this room, and we get to cross over our podcasts and stuff. Like, I want this to be a continuous thing between us. Like,
For sure.
like,
Oh, yeah.
you
We
know,
love
Love
to
you
be
back on
back.
in
Right.
28 weeks.
yeah. Did you guys ever watch like Care Bears like growing up?
Yes.
Did you ever see like the episodes where they had like the Care Bear cousins and stuff?
Yes.
Where they were like different. They were actually not bears. They were like elephants and stuff. That's how I feel like we
Yeah.
all are. You know what I'm saying? But like when I'm on there,
Which
we're
are the bears and which one's are the
Yeah,
elephants?
did you just call me an elephant?
No, today you guys are the
Back that up.
elephants. We're the bears, and when we were over at your place, you guys were the bears, and we were the elephants. So that's how I kind of feel like about
Symbiosis.
the episodes that we call Care Bear Cousins.
Size like looking up symbiosis.
No, I'm writing down like episode
Usually
titles:
finish.
Care Bear Cousins. Write that down just for fun. But yeah, no, I really appreciate the guys. This has been super fun, and like honestly, just listening back to our episode, you guys have to check it out. It's episode 22 of Back To Podcast. You guys are available anywhere you can find podcasts, and
So are we.
specifically, yes, and us as well. But specifically with yours, I found out that like if I type in Back To Podcast on Apple, it works. But if
Yep.
you type in Back To Podcast on Spotify, for some reason it doesn't really populate. So
yeah, there was a weird feed thing going on with them. They actually imported us twice.
Yep.
yeah, I
So
remember
it comes
you telling
up
me
with
about
like
that.
a weird.
So if you're looking for them on
thing.
Spotify, what helps me is by typing in Back To Podcast, a Beverly Hills podcast, like you know. so
Yeah, I
Beverly
put
Hills
in
90210,
90210
yeah.
to make it a little easier. to
Right.
find.
So, what is your, I know we talked about on your show, but like, what's the future for your podcast? And
Bachelor.
what do you guys want to like, every time we say future, she says bachelor. But that's why I was thinking it would be
future.
perfect.
You say bachelor.
Future.
Bachelor.
Future.
Bachelor.
When I say back to, you say podcast. Back to.
Podcast.
Back to.
Podcast.
That is fucking Care Bear
That's
Cousins
fine.
all the way, bro. You know what I'm saying? High fives all around. Pass that down to them. Just high five wave. Yeah. Oh man, we are so corny. But
My cheeks hurt.
I love it. You guys are got a very special episode 75 of Future Bachelor. Where can they find you guys, like online and all that stuff?
You
like,
can find us on Twitter and Instagram at backtopodcast.com.
Or you can email us. That's backtopodcast@gmail.com.
That's BACKTO podcast at gmail.com.
Look at them,
Jeez,
so pro
we don't do this.
down.
No, because we're all just like fucking follow us.
we're just like, you'll
Like,
find us.
You know,
Google us.
You see our stories all the time.
Yeah, we'll find you.
YouTubers.
Don't find us, we'll find you.
No, seriously, do you guys
YouTubers have seen
practice
me do
that?
some sexual
Or is that-
things.
That's your outro.
We've done it so many times
Right.
that like
It's
it
just-
just
I
happened.
noticed when we said
natural.
bye on your podcast, we did our outros.
Yeah.
We were like,
Yes.
deuces.
Bye.
Yeah, but
Bye.
See ya. Yeah, so what do you guys like plans for like the future with your podcast? What would you like to evolve into? What do you see yourselves doing and stuff?
I mean, I don't think we'll ever drop what we're doing now. Like
Yeah.
90210 is literally going to take us for the rest of our
Our
lives.
lives.
Basically.
It's never going to end. But I mean, we've talked about like doing tangential shows, like maybe
I like the one-off movie ideas.
yeah,
I
doing
do like
movies.
that.
We've talked about doing shows that are like one season instead of 10, so we
Yeah.
can handle both of them. So doing like Freaks and Geeks, My So-Called Life,
Ooh,
like
fun.
Yeah.
right?
Mostly just keeping with the theme of like 90s, like
teen
teen
nostalgia.
dramas.
Like that's where I live.
Right.
Yeah.
Teen TV. I love
Same
teen
here.
TV.
Same
But
here.
even if that means teen, like not that when we were teens, but like One Tree Hill was set when they were teens
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So even doing Riverdale or something like that, just getting into that teen drama, that's our bread and butter. We love teen dramas. We just love TV. So we want to keep it in that
OC.
TV world. Yeah.
OC,
Yeah, maybe eventually get to
Saved by the
13
Bell,
Reasons.
Boy Meets
Yeah,
World.
especially if it's on Netflix, that makes it a lot easier.
For
'cause,
sure.
Like
It's a-
Beverly Hills is missing like 40 episodes on
Yeah.
Hulu.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole like music copyright thing and like
Yeah, I was gonna say because I thought like I was watching the season finale, but then there was like another episode or something.
there's like
Yeah,
it's not-
I had to use my friend's like 5 times removed ex-boyfriends who
I was showing them their ours. It's definitely mine. Shout out to my ex because she hits her.
Shout out to my
She hasn't changed the password yet. So that's awesome.
Neither has this guy, and I've had that password for
Who changes
probably
passwords?
7 years.
Unless they
so-
make you. I hate when they don't let you go back to your old password.
Like, it can't be.
No, that's my password. How are you gonna make me try to remember something else? Like I can't remember that. Like I can't get into my own
No,
account.
it's
Like
forgot my password can't be the same as your old password.
right, exactly. It's just stupid. Oh,
But yeah, no, like I think it's season 2, episode 7 is the first one that's missing on Hulu.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like,
yikes.
a brand new character gets introduced, and it's a huge thing, and she's got a huge character arc. And the next episode, she's just there.
Yeah.
And you're like,
this kind of reminds me of Saved by the Bell, where it was just like they introduced Tori, but where the hell did Jesse and Kelly go?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, but I do think what you guys are doing is really awesome, and I appreciate you guys just like continuing to do it because it's hard, dude.
It's a
Like,
grind.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you guys evaluate it sometimes. Like, is this worth our time and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
Ariel, because I could have done this in the shout outs, but she does all of our editing. She definitely does a heavy lifting in this.
Yes,
So,
Bow.
yeah.
Bow
so
queen.
thank you.
I know for sure it's like more of a grind for her than it is for me and Mary, but at the same time, like, I feel like that's her strength, and she has the computer.
Right.
I'm the only one of us that has a computer.
Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, I mean,
At
it's,
all.
it's definitely
At all.
a grind, but we love it. I
You
mean,
work
we-
it out though, like
yeah,
you know,
we
with
wouldn't-
us, like you know, at first I like just like putting stuff away. I kind of was like, I'm writing the descriptions, I'm doing all the posts,
Yeah,
I'm
which-
coming up with the ideas
Let
and
me
stuff
use
like
my
that.
strengths.
Well-
Right.
I can write.
When as I was getting stressed out, reevaluating like things like, is this worth our time and all that stuff.
And I
Like
even
then,
was asking, then he wouldn't let me.
right. It was almost just like, you know, I had a vision for the show, and then it was just a matter of like trusting my partner and being able to give like her responsibilities that were like stressing me out. And now it's become like this like well-oiled machine where I don't even think about who's listening or anything anymore. It's just like, this is an outlet. This is how I like I feel fulfilled and stuff like that. I've always wanted to be a personality and stuff, and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I get to do it with one of my best friends and stuff. So it's like, you know, you guys continue to enjoy it. It'll get easier. You guys will find cool things that'll get introduced, and your fan base is just going to come because they're coming just for you and stuff. So we'll have each other's backs down the road. We're going to do this a lot more, and I really appreciate you guys being on our special episode 75. So
No, thank you.
yeah, we're going to give a
Love
round
it.
of applause to all of us. It's a record too. Over 2-hour episodes.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
crazy.
There's been a lot of ups. There's been a lot of downs.
No, we're not done. I have plenty of notes.
Yeah, and I still got Trulies and White Claws on point. Let's go. But all right, guys, it might not be as long next week, but we got episode 76, so make sure you check that
That's how
out.
numbers work.
Yeah, it's just it keeps going up. I don't know why, but
Weird. Strange.
but we love you guys. We'll see you next week. This has been Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Ariel.
Hold on a second. I've been doing. Hold on, that was great outro. That was good practice and stuff. But I wanted to rate the Bachelor episode this week.
yeah.
That was definitely
thought
a
of one.
segment from your show.
Hey, yeah, grade it. They grade it on their show. So
Yep.
background for our listeners, they grade each episode of 90210 Beverly Hills
with a letter
with
grade
a letter grade
from
because
school.
like they're in school.
So I thought it'd be fun if we
did
went
that
through.
now.
So I'm going to give this episode because I think all the episodes.
So
are
we're
pretty
gonna
good.
say this week.
Yeah, this week's episodes of The Bachelor in Paradise. I'm gonna give it. Well, I'll let you guys go first.
Yeah,
what were you gonna
let-
say? You're
I'm,
seriously.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
So it gets a B+
Hmm.
for Bartender Wells.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Welcome to the cult.
Love Wells. Bartender Wells is amazing. The only reason it doesn't get an A is because I have face blindness and they don't wear name tags.
She just did not. She could not grasp. Wait, which
couldn't.
one was Blake? Wait, hold on. All I know is Dean and JPJ.
Just like if you ever watch like one of the beginning episodes of like or any episode of like The Bachelor, all the women, half of them look the same.
Oh, they totally
Yeah,
do.
well, and that was the thing is like I already don't even remember the names, but
So
the
B-
ones
You're
that
right
were,
though.
like,
If
so
they
B
wear
plus
name
for
tags,
face
they would
blind.
be better.
yeah,
yeah.
but
They should have their
for
like
blindness.
Instagrams hovering over
Blind.
their head or something.
Face blind.
blind, comma face.
Exactly.
I do that a lot on our.
What is yours?
Yeah, so I really tried hard to think of something in the last 10 seconds that we talked about this. And I think I'm going to
Preparedness.
give it a B for
Oh.
Blake, boobs, and I don't have a third.
bickering.
Yeah, because Tasha's suitors got into
Booties.
Yeah, booties. Yeah, because like the booty.
What about
yeah.
beach?
But also, I could have given it a C, but not because it was bad, but because of Kaylin all the freaking names that
Christina.
sound the same.
Yeah. That's pretty good. All right. I just like the 3 names. Okay. What about you?
All right, I'm gonna give it a. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a D.
Whoa.
A D
Derek.
for Derek.
Or
Derek
Deuces Dean.
and Dean being a douche
Oh, nice.
and drama just at the wedding.
Wow. Well, I was gonna give it a B- until you said all that for B for blindsided. That Caitlin felt like she was blindsided.
Good, I like that.
But now I officially have come to the letter grade of C for Seagull.
Yes, that's kind of
good.
hilarious.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
good.
That's a good one.
Thank you,
Good job,
appreciate it.
Science Secrets.
All right, guys.
Science. On that note,
All right, guys. Well, this has been Future Bachelor with the practice. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Ariel.
Yeah! And we'll see you next week, all right? Deuces!
Bye.
See ya.
Future Bachelor Podcast.